For those that haven't experienced it earlier, well, you're about to experience it now. Welcome to CLG's Run It Thursdays with their inaugural tournament for the fighting game community. My name is Vicious, here with the Man Range to cover Street Fighter V to see who will reign supreme for the West Coast. We've had over 120 players participate tonight, so we're getting into our top 8. But before we get into our top 8, yo, Ringe, how are we feeling tonight about tonight's action we're about to witness for the West?
Man, I just want to give a shout out to the East Coast as well as Rob TV and Logan holding it down. What a way to intro Run It Thursdays. It's a beautiful week to start. The East Coast action was ridiculous, and we got word that it has been nothing but perspiration in the West Coast ladder. We have top players that we expect to be in the top 8 free have been gate kept this week. No Nephew, no JB. We got plenty of heavy hitters, Samurai, ChrisCCH, and the like that are going to be looking to take heads off bodies, but we'll get to that in a little while.
Oh, yeah. And before we even get into any of that, again, CLG hosting their weekly tournaments for a variety of fighting games, including GG Strive. That's right. That's going to be happening next week. And then going back and forth between Strive and Street Fighter V and maybe some other titles in the future. But again, for those of you that are just experiencing it now, again, this tournament aims to give players of all skill levels different types of tournament experience, right? They're implementing a ladder system to play off as many games as you can, which leads into the top 8, depending on how those individuals ranked, right? So thank you guys for tuning in first and foremost. And again, showing massive support to both CLG and the FGC. With that in mind, shout outs to CLG for highlighting the competitive excellence that is the FGC, and shout outs to everyone involved. We have to know who has made it into our top 8. Ringe, please, if we can, break it down for them.
My goodness. So everybody is going to start out in the winner's bracket right now because, as we said, it is a ladder system to get into this top 8. So we got ChrisCCH at the top versus Jot. Then Mira going up against CuhzLightYear on Crib Mac 55th. Going in, Samurai and Antony, Brian F and Endemic Shine, CLG Brian F. Let me not get it twisted. You know what stream we're on, and it's gonna be looking real good. Everybody is coming to take lunch money. And Shine, I know a lot of people think, obviously from the East Coast originally, currently in Texas, so that's why we have the privilege of having him in our West Coast bracket today.
You know, that's absolutely right. I've seen that name, and I'm like, wait a minute. He just moved to Texas. Who else moved to Texas? Brian F. Guess what? They get to play off against each other in the first round. You'll love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. And that does count for the Midwest or the West Coast, et cetera, et cetera. You know, we still count those in that region because it is going to be region specific throughout the whole time. And just kind of remind you folks, in case you guys had missed it from the East Coast, I should say, 2 out of 3 all the way through up until the top 3 are determined, right? That's winners finals, losers finals, and grind finals, where it's going to be 3 out of 5.
Most definitely is going to be a good one. So it is very lethal up until that point, right? Here in the Street Fighter V realm, we like to earn our way to 3 out of 5, and usually that promised land is the top 8. But no, we got to make sure that we have our survival instincts on 1 today, or on 11, because it's not going to be easy getting into that 3 out of 5 territory. Only the finals is where you'll get that privilege. So everybody needs to be bringing their triple S tier game out the gate.
Ooh. And it's going to be kind of wild, too. When we talked about the bracket and who's actually up first, ChrisCCH versus Jot, it's the battle of friends, right? This might be the determining factor of who actually stays in the friendship club, led by Filipino man himself, right? The one that had gotten second over in his CPT run. This is going to be one of the battles that we love to see because there may be a certain difference in skill level when it comes to their current standings and how they've performed throughout the year. However, this is a whole different story. There's going to be a lot of speculation because of the fact that they are very close training partners.
Most definitely. Somebody's getting their pajamas revoked, right? And Anton's going to be like, you got to return those. You're out of the friendship club. You're not invited to fun anymore. It's a KBBQ. Everything is off the table. Of course, but I like that you mentioned that because these two are obviously teammates on the West Coast, Midwest 5v5, right? And a lot of that had to deal with the fact, I mean, yeah, it'd be like, you know, don't worry. We hold the L's. It's okay. Yeah, but a lot of that had to do with the team's faith in Jot, right? And ChrisCCH being one of those big co-signers. And Jot has been proven for a long time as well as a very solid player. But yeah, highlighting the sparring relationship, the close relationship, we can see all types of stuff when it comes to players that have played each other this much.
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest things to highlight because it also leads into what characters are going to be chosen. I think ChrisCCH has pretty much determined that he is going to be playing Luke throughout this season, even if he's out of the running for current CPT online qualifiers. But again, there's been, news that there's going to be even more qualifiers to go through. So with that in mind, I think Luke is going to be the pick for Jot. I don't know if he's going to go Menat. I think I do like Menat versus Luke, to be honest with you.
And that's what we're going to see. So he's at least going to experiment with that. And as we highlighted at the very beginning, 2 out of 3. So there's not a lot of room for experimentation. But as we mentioned, these two are very well versed against each other. So Jot going with the Menat seems to be a more solid choice, at least to him.
And I'm liking this already, right?
ChrisCCH establishing the fireball, the sandblaster stuff.
Yeah, and you kind of have to, right? With the orb, you want to at least try to force Jot to spend it, or at least get a trade-off to ChrisCCH. It's going to be so important, right? Into the corner now, the pressure, excellent throw escape. That was at the very last time that you could do it because of the spacing that occurred afterwards. Nice conversion off of Jot, throwing out the orb again. Look at the pressure. Man, you're just going to dash in? No respect.
That's the thing, right? ChrisCCH, I think he uses the sandblaster pressure so heavily that it gives him a lot of leeway to start dashing and taking these risks at that same range. Oh, but that time check.
Yeah, being able to make yourself safe is so critical when you have that V-trigger just going in for the full string. But this is going to be a lot of chip damage coming in from ChrisCCH. Oh, I lied to you. I lied to you all at all.
Yeah. Oh, but Chris somehow gets another clutch back throw incident, and we walk up throw again. Still loaded on that V skill as well. Oh, going to be big damage because of it. Yes, sir. ChrisCCH with the first round.
That was actually kind of snasty. That was a little tough, I would say, for ChrisCCH. He really had to work for that moment, I will say. Not the combo per se, but just the moment, the situation.
Most definitely, and I think that's what kind of Jot brings to the table as a player. He makes you earn every inch, especially on this Menat. It's not easy to get in on her, but as you can see, if you can time a jump right, ChrisCCH has the corner pressure again, but glass broken, but a combo dropped.
Glass broken, but combo dropped. You hate to hear it from a character like Menat. That's actually the things you don't want to hear because she's so fragile, and at the same time, she requires so much setup to get her optimal positioning.
Okay, and Chris actually risking the jump and puts himself in the corner, and Jot with the drill on the dash show. We definitely have hope.
Hitting it with the J. Cole, open a book and a Jot. Oh, wait a minute. No reads here, though. I love the block of the overhead.
Oh, EX in response to your EX. Chris shutting that down immediately, but still getting a little antsy, getting a little froggy.
Man, he's just sitting and waiting. ChrisCCH, even though he didn't get that confirmed, as you just mentioned, he was still going to press that button. It's such a good button within that space. That medium kick is just so active. It did get nerfed, by the way. It did get like a pretty significant nerf at that, but if you're not whiffing that normal, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I think what the jump medium kick was going to come next. We saw the crouch, we saw the stand, and all the buttons for Luke when it comes to that one are good.
Yeah, you definitely set it up too verbally. You were saying, you know, Jot was looking for ChrisCCH to get froggy. We were looking for that moment to jump. And speaking of jumps right now, Jot making his way in, does get the crush counter sweep.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, this is going to clean little whiff punish. ChrisCCH obviously trying to move forward with that stand medium punch, a very effective button for Luke, as well as that one.
Here comes the ball. That orb is just coming in hot and heavy. ChrisCCH definitely knew it. Team Look and See has entered the room. He's peeping game. Shout outs to Mira, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, that's Mira, right? Definitely shout outs. We'll see her in a little while. Oh, getting thrown out of that V reversal. Stay that ass in the corner.
That's so meaty. Oh, man, he was still able to contest that? I guess it wasn't meaty enough to get plus frames.
Chris again trying to establish that sandblaster game. Runs this desert. Ooh, not biting though. Lots of gray life and chip damage though.
Oh, he's starting to get into Sandblaster the game with trigger 1. Oh, get out of here!
Man, she can't even get on probation right now. She is locked down.
This is a life sentence, that's for sure. Oh yeah. Duly noted for sure. The gavel has been slammed pretty much with that V-trigger 1.
Couple of life sentences for that. ChrisCCH having no mercy.
Just enough time to convert religions. Here comes that orb again. ChrisCCH being very aware of that, and look at that, finding a place to strike.
Oh, okay, but caught a little off guard there. Jot able to combo off the orb pool. Showing right back to the neutral now, and Chris, yeah, you see, he takes those moments to get the V skill, and now a huge jump in. Buffed by that V skill as well, so much damage.
I know I said he has enough time to convert religions, but he has to find God first because there's going to be a ton of damage. You might be dead. You might be looking at the pearly gates early. A back throw will do it. Oh, he tried. There was an attempt.
Yeah, back throw this time from Jot. Actually runs into that at the end. And to be able to combo off that V-trigger as the CA on deck as well. He just needs one hit into it to kill. All the cross-up is there, but no conversion. The orbs are let out now. ChrisCCH back to establishing this game. He's got the lead and looks for the chip out. So smart.
He gave him the Captain America. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Your shoulder checking from that far?
I was like, he just needed the shield, and that was Charging Star pretty much.
Yes,
Let's give the man a
exactly
shield.
Charging Star. That actually is busted. That was pretty mad busted. Did you see how much chip damage that was from like 3/4 of the screen?
Nah, wild stuff. And we even saw another chip sequence previous to that, right? Where Chris seems to have fleshed out some of these like block strings that Luke has, that he realizes a lot of the time people are going to stay pressured in that corner, right? And you have so much leniency with the way you pressure your opponent because of that Sandblaster and his great stand medium punch range and forward fierce. The man's is just a menace from that range right there.
And we might have missed it earlier. I know you guys were talking about it. Having to pick and choose between your brothers in arms from the West Coast. But again, we do like to hear your thoughts with the polls and letting us know who you guys like going into each and every matchup, right? And speaking of which, look at this. Again, I definitely could have called it with Luke, man. Luke versus Menat. Normally, I like Menat, but at the same time, Luke has just been such a powerhouse. I know y'all are thinking I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, man, on paper, I think Menat has a pretty decent time. That's just me. I'm crazy too. Whatever.
I mean, I think there's definitely merits to that for sure. She's got good range. We see that she can kind of give Luke trouble as well in that Sandblaster range. If she has the orb out, then you kind of have to think twice about doing the projectile and whatnot. And we saw some clutch drops from Jot, if we're going to keep it a buck, right? It definitely could have been a closer set, but we saw some V-trigger conversions that didn't go all the way he wanted. And because of that, it was just a 2-0 run away from ChrisCCH.
Yeah, I thought we were getting the remix on slides. I was like, damn, we had to see that replay again and again. I like that. I would have been down for that, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. But we are going to be moving on to the next matchup, right? We did see who was kind of previewing themselves into the matchup, and that was indeed IQ's own Mira going up against CuhzLightYear. Name of the year, by the way. Name of the year. Hands down.
On 55th right now, he's going to try to get into winter semifinals versus ChrisCCH. We'll see if he can pull it off, because he does have a mountain of a task ahead of him, and that is Mira. Mira, a multi-fighting game specialist at this point. She has taken her skills to many of fighting games in this genre, and once again, Street Fighter V, she's coming home to do some more work.
Oh, without a doubt. And this is one of the names that should be known in the West Coast, right? Migrated over with Eli the Curry as well. Both of them are such dominant partners in the realm of Street Fighter V and fighting games in general. Mira is a multi-talented competitor in multiple titles, right? We might even see her next week as well.
Most definitely. I would not be surprised whatsoever. And she's got a couple of characters that she plays in this game as well, right? We see the Laura early on, the Ibuki. She's kind of hopped around. I'm not sure what she's most comfortable on nowadays, but we're going to find out very soon. Obviously, whoever it is quite comfortable, because she's here in our top 8 with killers that are not present.
And this is the thing I wanted to see. I want to know what the character selection is. CuhzLightYear has pretty much been revived this season because of the buffs that Ibuki had received to both of her V-triggers also. One of the things to note is that his bomb setups, pretty damn elaborate and pretty good, right? That change to the second bomb is pretty important. However, how can you go wrong with plus frame kunai again? Like that, or shuriken? That's actually pretty beast. That coming back is a pretty huge deal for Ibuki players all across the board.
You remember what Zyclops said, man. Money come and go, but Shuriken always come back. So the fact that it is once again buffed, I'm looking for it, but I want to see these bomb setups. Personally, I'm always down for a good bomb setup. You know, I like the mix. I like the schnasty stuff, the one-player games. So hopefully we can see a little bit of a campaign V-trigger.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best ways to put it, right? You get pure set play off of any of the V-triggers that Ibuki presents. I feel like she's been that way since her inception. Like, if you take a look at her history in Street Fighter 3, she does the same kind of stuff, whether she's hitting you or she's getting blocked. She's just so agile and able to still strike from, like, I think mid range is like the most dominant range for her, I think. And then up close is where she becomes like the biggest threat, I feel like.
Yeah, that's, I think, really cool about Ibuki, is that she's got some of those unique options from that range. Obviously, the ground and air kunai, definitely good options to kind of take your mind off of certain options in the mid-range. But even that forward roundhouse, there's a couple of other things, the Raida. She's got a lot of cool options that she can hard call out her opponents with. And then, as you mentioned, up close, just complete mix-up monster. It'd be funny if we got an Ibuki Mira, honestly, because I know Mira did play it for a time.
Right, that is a very valid point, too. I think Ibuki Mira match is plausible. I would like to know how that Laura matchup goes in the current state of the game, because to be honest with you, we haven't seen, or I personally haven't seen enough Laura versus Ibuki in their current forms, right? We've seen it for like years and years and years, but again, in this current state of the game, it could still be a coin toss. It's just a matter of who's got the better defense. I think with Ibuki, there's a little bit more of a telegraphed pace of action that she has when she's mid-range and she has bar, best believe more often than not, CuhzLightYear is going to be taking off to the skies and going in for the EX kunai, right?
For infinity and further beyond and everything.
Yeah.
But I do want to see the lore because I like the way you put it when it came to the pace of action, right? And I do think that's one of Laura's biggest strengths is that I could, me personally, it's so hard for me to read Laura players, like what they're going to do at any given moment from that type of mid-range. And I mean, we obviously saw Item show that off. Mira is extremely successful with that same style of play, being kind of unpredictable and utilizing all the options, cycling through her offense. So we are going to find out who the characters are, and it will be the matchup we were hoping for.
And don't get it twisted, the names are going to be the other way around. Mira's going to be rocking that Laura, and ChusLightYear coming in with the Ibuki to infinity and beyond. Let's see how it goes between the two. Already starting things off. You know, ChusLightYear actually tried things out with the crouching medium kick to test the range of Laura. But what's funny about that is the thunderclap actually moved her hurtbox away from the ground to get that counter poke.
Yeah, that starter where she kind of reels back a little bit, right? Has plagued people trying to play footsies with this character since season 1. Oh no!
That's gonna be huge.
Wrong time, and now you're in Laura's world. Oh yes, sunset wheel. Oh,
another one
again. It's so pretty. You got to see it twice.
A triple. My goodness. Man, I've heard of a double sunset, but a triple? That's asking for too much, man. You're getting drunk at the bar.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, okay, though. We've seen these crouch medium kicks from ChusLightYear look pretty good at the start, but one command throw is all it could take.
Or an opener just like that, off of the low, checking the movement. Look at this, Mira on the prowl. No way.
Slight missed time. And now, but we got a chance with the hard call out. We backdash in the corner and punish. Oh, one more again.
Hit him with the backflip. Do it again.
V-shift. We got a DEX as well. And take up all that range. Oh, tries to sneak in across some, but we bust out.
You thought Mira was gonna wait and see? No, she's on team look and see. She's the one doing the actions. She ain't waiting.
Active defense from Mira right there. And I mean, you know, the Lotto players, they just believe in the stand jab. I think they've been shown the way by Item. They believe in it a lot. And with that amount of life, I think it was a good risk from Mira for sure.
Without a doubt. I think with the options that were presented after ChusLightYear had landed an overhead, or sorry, the forward medium kick, even if that lands, I don't think it leads to anything critical. There's not going to be like a fatal blow going towards it. Mira was definitely going to take that risk.
True, and now we're in the corner yet again, but Cuz switching that up and checking the command dash.
Cool. Let's see what happens afterwards. What an interruption against the thunderclap, but the jump in, man, ChusLightYear has been getting countered by a lot of these committal buttons.
Yeah, Mira,
heavy committal.
She's been jumping pretty jump heavy in this match. Oh, once again though, the challenge is, yo, this is a slugfest right now. Put the bombs out, OB out. My goodness, we'll jump right back into it.
How do you keep Mira from sitting still, by the way? Although we went to ChusLightYear that round, Mira immediately jumped forward after the bombs hit, or, you know, got hit on block.
I love the pace both of these players are playing with right now. Look at this on hit, we swing it again. Nobody is scared.
Oh, reset. Other side.
Look at that. What is blocking? Not about that. We're trying to get this prize pool.
Oh. Yes, utilizing that armor that was not sufficient enough as a frame trap.
Yo, just the jab after the elbow.
Nice and simple, right? I mean, that's the second time Mira has taken away a round with that stand jab. I mean, she had very little to lose in that regard.
Uh-oh. ChusLightYear picking the proper moment to bust out once again. Good challenge. Oh, no. About to get real intimate again, but nice. Going straight through the projectile. We're backed into a corner already. No anti at this time. V-shift trying to keep that optimal space.
It's so tough. It's actually so tough. We talked about this exact range earlier. ChusLightYear is trying to make the most of it, still getting opened up with the low crush counter. You thought it was your turn to press a button? No schmicks here.
Ooh, and immediately goes to the bomb. What we got just combos off of it for now. Again, the jab hitting her out of the jump. Almost a replay of what ended game 1, but instead Mira had that sunset wheel, sending him off into the sunset.
Wasn't even scared about the activation, by the way. Mira ended up quoting Rush Hour 2, saying she was the bomb. Like, didn't even know the bomb was coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like there hasn't been a moment where Mira has been completely intimidated by Bomb because of the amount of life she had left.
Yeah. Exactly, right. And she was doing the type of style that you need to do in fighting games, and that's you got to earn my respect. I'm not going to assume that you have these setups that are already ready or anything like that. I'm going to make sure that you kind of show me that you have that stuff that's going to prevent me from mashing on wake up or any type of round stealing or turn stealing type maneuvers.
Yeah, and so far it's been a very, very dominant set of games between all 4 of our competitors, or at least 4 of our 8 competitors right now, right? ChrisCCH ended up getting the 2 donut. Mira got the 2 donut as well. And it's getting me real hungry talking about donuts this late, so I'm going to change it up to zeros. I was trying to show some respect and love, but at the same time, we still got plenty more to go through, right? We got Samurai and Antony, as you saw the bracket earlier. We have Brian F versus Shine. Shine is going to be pretty hot and heavy.
Yeah, and before that, we also got the replays for this match as well, I believe, queued up. Again, we're going to see how Mira able to get 2 over CuhzLightYear. Yeah, that first round was all sunset all the time. Took it to the Ferris wheel 3 times.
Not once, not twice, but thrice. Hitting them with the Mr. Burns. All y'all boomers in the chat, y'all know what I'm talking about. Again, just not intimidated by the bomb. There was a sequence. Go ahead.
My favorite Boomer 1, 2, 3 reference is actually the owl, the Tootsie Roll owl.
Yeah.
That's my joint right there.
I've definitely seen it on social media. Somebody recreated it. They saw an owl in a tree branch and they just held up a Tootsie Pop right next to it. I'll put it up on social media. It's actually mad good.
Oh my goodness. And yeah, of course, off into the sunset one more again for Mira, doing a great job picking the Laura and yeah, utilizing all the offensive options that she has. We talked about it before, just cycling through that mid-range where CuhzLightYear has these niche options, right? Ibuki has a couple of things that she could do in that range, but it really depends on her reading the opponent. It's hard to autopilot into those maneuvers and have them kind of shut down multiple options like, you know, some very good characters can do.
Right. And just having the kind of read, I mean, in a 2 out of 3 setting when it comes to someone like Laura or just someone like Mira, right? Very, very much so well experienced. Both of these cats are well versed in the realm of like online ranked, right? You still have to understand, like when it comes to this kind of setting, you have to make sure you're intimidating enough to prevent the button presses majority of the time, right? CuhzLightYear, I think it was one of those instances where he didn't get those opportunities enough to highlight those weaknesses, right? It's just a matter of making those decisions early to like, I think you would have to dedicate yourself to that path. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to go for the meaty route majority of the time rather than try to go for delayed presses.
Yeah, exactly. There wasn't any conditioning beforehand, right? And that's really what it takes when you want to go with like some delayed setups or some like go in the face and jump type maneuvers. You really got to make sure that your meaties have been on point up until then so that the opponent is intimidated. It's just sitting there and blocking. And Mira was obviously active on the defense. Both of them were from the beginning. And that's what Mira, I think, recognized early and just shut down all that, right? We saw a lot of meaty scenarios and kind of just staying compact with the buttons until the sunset wheels came out. And like, I just think the rhythm of switching between the command grabs and the active pressure was just super on point.
Well, hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that. We get to feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, and see some more sunset wheel time. With that in mind, Samurai versus Antony coming up. I actually haven't seen a lot of Antony. I don't know what the Heidi account may be on CFN. I think that would pretty much highlight it for me. But for the most part, we know exactly who Samurai is, right? Pretty much a household name in the realm of Street Fighter, even in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, right? This man has been a legend in the forefront of the the NorCal scene. He's technically in the middle, right? He's Central. A hybrid. He's Fresno, California. He's Mid-Cal.
Yeah, 100%. NorCal can claim him. It's fine. Y'all need all the help you can get, you know what I'm saying? So you can have Samurai for now. But yeah, we still gotta hold that. Speaking of boomer stuff, I gotta hold that Aftershock loss forever. I still want an Aftershock too. But obviously, Samurai is an elite competitor. One of my favorite fighting game professionals in the business. I love talking to this man about just the competitive mind state. He studies sports psychology. He does this thing at pretty much every turn to try to enhance his game, whether in game or out in real life. So he's always been someone I admired. I'm glad to see him still at the top of his competitive level. And we're going to see if he can move in the winter semis.
And man, low key, fun fact, Samurai is one of the funniest cats in the FGC. Like on a personal basis, like once you get to know him after a couple of years, he is actually mad funny. He's a super troll. Bro, if you don't believe me, just listen to Street Fighter League with his banter with Rob TV. Man talked about his hairline, dude. That is just disrespectful.
He goes to the places where you're afraid to go a lot of the time. He doesn't care. I knew he had the joke bone when you first seen him at an event. It was like, hey, Vicious, and he deadpan hit hey, Samurai immediately.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
okay, this man knows.
That's literally our greeting every time we see each other. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the Full Metal Alchemist. Like you get the Armstrong, the handshake. It's like, you know.
With Samurai, that's exactly what we were talking about in the last round, right? Conditioning his opponent with meaty pressure. We saw Antony wake up with some button, got counter hit. Samurai's gonna shut that down.
And that's exactly the kind of play you need to go for as Luke, right? We were talking about how pivotal. Oh boy, that had to be a huge overlap in inputs. He was walking forward and trying to do like a sandblaster, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, most likely. He ends up just getting all the classic execution error, but not looking like any errors at this point. Oh, that was so close. Picked a bit of a slow button to get the whip punish, but had the right idea on the rhythm. Yeah, activate.
Get plus frames after that because it was after the third hit of the string. Medium
You
kick
see
to
that
Shaq.
medium kick still so good.
You can see Antony kind of pumping away at the same thing. Crouch medium punch is going to be the tool to set it off, right? No Jada Pinkett.
Oh, please no. Oh, from long distance and actually gonna spin all of the V trigger. Yeah, we get a follow up and actually gonna unload everything. This is a big investment right now. You better hope this stock doesn't crash. Fireball.
Oh my god, I thought he landed on it with the slow fireball, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, word? That was magic. You're dead. You're deader than dead. You're actually going all the way to the other side. Damn.
Oh, the afterlife. I mean, you can't take your money with you, so I guess it's good that you invested in it. Even if that stock crashed, hard body. Samurai up 1-0 like that.
That was definitely some Dogecoin investments if I ever seen it. That was the uppercut that was like sending you to the moon in the wrong way, like financially negative, right?
Yeah. Looking like the stock market charts. Not good, not good.
You're running out of gas, man. Better invest in that Tesla, baby.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Let's not
Definitely,
talk about it.
definitely
That's
looking
too
into
much.
electric cars ASAP.
Dude, you drive everywhere. Don't do it anymore. Like
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
yeah,
I gotta
it's so
switch
bad.
out.
It's actually so bad.
Ooh, nice. Samurai looking good once again. Very comfortable on this Luke, especially in that range. We talk about Sandblaster supremacy, even has the V skill, so any confirm is going to be big damage. Oh, like I said.
And I like that. I like the sequence coming in from Samurai. It's still going to be a nice, safe frame trap kind of positioning or like situation. Antony hasn't really found a way to like get past the fundamentals that Samurai's presented.
Yeah, exactly. Like he just looks, oh my goodness.
Oh, you see what I'm saying?
So on point as a fighting game player. The confirms are OD, just staying outside of the range, using the walk speed well. And then just has no
about this? He's walking into low forward, or sorry, into low medium punch into fireball. He's building himself a decent amount of gauge for trigger. Like he didn't care about like taking the damage. His goal was to get into trigger.
There you go, Samurai, thinking of the long game as well. Trying to find something that establishes a big dominance in the neutral. Obviously, that V trigger gives him a great confirm and just lots of control, pushing him out like that. Ooh.
Oh. One touch away and jump medium punch serves the justice that he was looking for. He doesn't need an uppercut. He's like, you know, Luke is pretty versatile to do whatever he wants, but a little bit of reaction to get some of that action. Best believe Samurai is on it. Oh my god, I told you! Reaction, two times. Hit him with the backflip. Do it again, please.
My, you highlighted the reactions. He was like, nah, you don't even have an idea about my reactions right now. What a madman.
I'm definitely claiming him as family right now. That's my twin brother. That is my twin brother, you know.
That was
separated at birth. Ooh. It's gonna be huge. Yes, the damage is significant because, you know, you're getting a little bit off of that trigger, but the positioning or the spacing it leaves him at is so good.
Samurai got me on the edge of my seat now, bro. Like, oh my god, any button Ken presses, I'm like, you about to, oh, I thought it was gonna be another DP.
Oh, word.
I'm gonna spin the rest of that V trigger, but we still got the V skill locked and loaded. Spins it there, that's plus frame.
Oh.
Whoops.
I don't know what that was, right? He went to back medium punch. It's a little sus.
Yeah, gonna pay for it dearly. Antony unloading the bang this time, a proper investment. No Doge coins here.
Yeah, well, he had his sidewall and invested in AMC. AMC's doing pretty well. He's definitely taking you to the movies. He's got the theatrics down pat.
Bro, I have a ticket for Thor at 11. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
You're not making that today, bro. You're definitely not making that today, bro.
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
no shot.
So much for Love and Thunder. Instead, you're getting hate and fire right now.
Most definitely. The bus ass is served on a platter at the very least. I'll take it. Samurai now trying to shut down this set. Another clean confirm off the low medium kick. Oh my goodness, the hezzy.
People in the chat are like, bro, go watch Thor. I love that. I love that response. Just utilizing that V-shift. He's like, I don't need to really be involved in any of the mixes that come from this Tatsu.
Cool, and now you're going to have to guess for the game again. Just show him a slight hesitation, but Antony not biting. No anti-air that time. Oh my goodness, Samurai. It's walking back. I feel like playing with his food a little bit. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of tough. That's a tough scenario to be in. Antony, having engaged in that V-trigger activation, that pretty much sets your death sentence, really, into critical art finish or chip finish.
Yo, and shout outs to Samurai using the basketball for Luke. I feel not enough players play that, but that's beside the point. Definitely, I like the way he ended that round too, because I was like, is he playing with his food a little bit? We saw a couple of jump ins that were in anti-air, but I feel like he was being maybe extra safe. He knows obviously Ken is a damage output monster. It can get away from him if he ends up messing up an input like that. And considering the V trigger was active and he had the super right, he just waited till he landed, chipped him out. It was nice, clean from Samurai. I mean, that's what we expect from someone of his caliber in terms of not only skill, but also experience.
Right, and it's still not going to be the last we see of either player, right? Antony actually had some pretty clutch moments with his critical art ender I think in game number 2 versus Samurai, right? He was still trying to make that survival run, but at the same time, you still have to figure out how Samurai is going to play. And at the level that he's been playing at, that's going to be like, it's a good preview, but you have to make that strategy come to fruition sooner or later, because now you're doing your loser's run, right? But yeah, looking at that bracket again, Samurai 2-0 over Antony. Now it's going to be Brian F versus Shine. Endemic's own Shine is going to be pretty beast. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. I did the Rob TV. I got to put some respect on Brian F's name. That is CLG, Brian F.
Indeed, a big match coming up next as well. I believe we're going to take a look at the replays. I'm not sure if we still want to do that, but yeah, after an incredible match once again from Samurai, just shutting down his opponent. We saw that right there, right? Again, not letting his opponent wake up with any buttons. You're going to have to bet it with a full bar if you're going to want to wake up on Samurai.
Yeah, and there were a couple of big bets that Antony has made throughout the course of this series that have paid off. But this one right here, right? We've talked about this in multiple tournaments. We've talked about this in multiple factions of gameplay. If you're not killing with the critical art, you might be dead the next turn.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I think the popular spots to use critical art is when it kills or like the first combo of a round. Usually you don't really see players use critical art a lot of the time in between that, just because it's such a valuable resource. And then go, your Mira, the back-to-back. I cannot believe he pulled that out.
Low-key, I'll believe it if it's offline. But online, I definitely share the same sentiment. That's actually kind of nasty. Offline is a different beast, obviously. So he's spent a lot of time in the realm of CFN to execute that kind of stuff. I know people in the chat are like, that's like maybe like mid-level to upper level, but like to do it consistently like that, that's pretty good, man. I gotta say, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm impressed by that at the very least. Whether Arturo looked at his setup or not, I know that was clean play from Samurai. But now we are getting into, I believe, our last match of round 1 here of our top 8. Again, this is a ladder format, so all of our players started in the top 8 winners side, and obviously these first round sets are determining who drops down into the losers. And if you're just joining us, it's 2 out of 3 all the way until that top 3 action. So Endemic Shine going up against Brian F once again, busting out the Oro up against the Cody, which is what we expect nowadays.
Yeah, there's so much that Cody gets off of Trigger 1 in terms of extension and damage, right? It's just been the option of choice. Instead of going for like the mix-up value you get off of Trigger 2, I think just the benefits of Trigger 1 is so much better. And I think you get less time if you're convicted with maybe a knife than a brutal pipe to the spine. You know what I mean? Like, I think the conviction rate is a little bit better. Because you could claim the knife as self-defense, but you know, like a public building pipe, that's actually got to be like more than that.
True. I mean, as long as you swing below the waist, right, and then you avoid that one charge. That's what Chappelle's show taught me, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh, the check. Not scared of the V-trigger activation. Oh, should be a little bit afraid now, though.
This is 70% city, or at least reset it to death.
Oh,
I like.
Shine, he's got an EX locked and loaded. There it was. You knew the Zonk was coming out, and so did Brian. Waited on it, but that is another very potent button when it comes to Cody's kit.
Medium kick is such a great tool. I think I've watched like a full spiel from Momochi on his stream. It was translated later, but he had a full segment of how good medium kick was from Cody, and I believe it.
Yeah, most definitely. Shine putting it on display right now. Once again, very patient play from both sides. Right now, finally whiffing something and paying for it just a little bit.
You talk about the offensive capabilities, but it's also great for like defensive activity. If you throw it out there and it's blocked, you're still within the right range to get whiff punish. But man, speaking of whiff punishes, Shine is definitely that dude to get them down pat against Brian F.
Most definitely summon the whiff punish right there. And now Shine, once again, V triggered up, a V reversaling him off, doesn't want to deal with this. Gonna have to deal with it anyway. Oh no! Looked like he was in the air, but got tossed on the ground anyway.
Damn, that hit hella meaty too towards the second half of that Zong Knuckle.
Whoa.
Out of there! No chicken run here. That's not gonna work today.
The claymation, it's out of style. Everything's
Yeah.
CG nowadays. 3D graphics.
Wait. Listen, in Wallace and Gromit style, all right, that's actually still that's still my cheese and crackers, all right. I love Wallace and Gromit. Shout outs to the UK for producing that, by the way.
The claymation is over. You seen the cash in, cash out video?
I have not. Wait, I probably have, but I have to see it again. I'll look it up.
Should trust me. It's like claymation style. It's CG, but it's claymation style. It's brilliant.
I like that. We'll check it out after this. Brian F right now actually on the offensive, getting the, what is a stand medium? You thought you could bat spray fire? I feel like it only adds on to it.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of dirt you're carrying in your pocket, bro. That's not gonna work.
Yeah. You have to take away the oxygen from the fire before it spreads. That's the whole point. But again, you know, it's a different kind of fire. It's coming from the nose of Oral, bro. It's a booger.
Oh, nah. I don't know what type of special properties that has. Oh,
I know
so that
exactly
is...
what that is. It's definitely boogers with like hot Cheeto sprinkle. Like, you know, he just finished like a bag of hot Cheetos. He's still got the dust on his fingertips. That's what he's doing with the Oral booger.
Oh my god, it's disturbing, bro. The sinuses gotta be on fire. Oh my, speaking of on fire though, Brian F going to town with the Oral right now. Of course, big scaling towards the end of this combo. Still gonna make him guess for game at the end. Oh, guesses correctly.
This is gonna be huge. Oh, I guess not. Not as big as I thought it to be, but yeah, I love that. Yo, Brian actually could have been dead with any sort of frame trap afterwards. The gall on this man to throw out the elbow. Giving him the ludicrous.
You're on my stream, bro.
So brave. I'm still thinking about that sequence range. That is so brave.
Yeah, I can't believe he pressed on that +3. Like you said, if he would have frame trapped him, he's dead at that point. I mean, great read by Brian. Very gutsy maneuver to pull out, but successful.
Oh.
And right now, man, oh, Shine, yeah, he's looking to plot. He's trying to scheme and get in, do some big damage. +3 again. Yeah, he was like, you gonna press next time? I'm just gonna do a crouch jab.
So he's got the activation. I thought he was gonna go for maybe like the chicken stomp, maybe get a side switch, but either way he gets it, regardless of the fact.
Yeah, Shine ends up taking a couple of swings. Ow.
Oh boy, you hate to see it when you see the universal overhead. Like that's been around since forever and a day. You see that exact animation, you're whiff punishing the hell out of it.
Yeah, it's just one of those moves, right? That like it registers to your brain very clearly. So it's like, it's obviously very long too, but it's just one of those moves that it seems easier to punish than others. Oh, fireball game again from Brian F. He's in a slight life deficit. Also back towards the corner. Doesn't want to get pressured too far in. That's why he tried to jump out, but Shine's still ready.
Oh my god, it's gonna be pretty significant. He tried the medium EX uppercut. That's the first time we've seen that in this set, no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and then activate again. Yeah, off that vacuum effect. There's a big anti-air.
Oh, the cinder blocks. He stole that from an apartment building. That thing is actually down in the rubble now. You can't put it back.
And here we go. This is going to be a guess for game because of the stun on deck. Oh, and he wakes up with a bad spray. Nothing afterwards, though. No counter hit.
He's chasing him down. He's chasing him down. And I like this positioning from Brian F. Yeah, okay, this is great. I love the tornado taking away some of the boogers. It's cleaning up that snot.
Oh, and once again, that stand medium kick counter hits him. Not enough damage, but he comes in with the double axe handle overhead. Wow.
You know what's wild about that animation is the fact that he doesn't come down with the stabbing motion. He actually hits you with like, it's not, what is that? Not really the hilt, right? It's like the butt of the knife, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually, that's pretty beast. Like, I think, you know that Cody in lore is one of the strongest beings in the Street Fighter universe?
No,
So,
I
like,
actually didn't know.
Yeah, so like he's on the radar as being like one of the strongest humans in the Street Fighter lore. So people are like, damn, dude, like you get bodied by this guy, you're probably gonna be out for like years. Like, I think he'll do more damage to Gouken than Akuma did, because Akuma didn't even kill the guy. But anyways, I digress.
Man, yeah, that was definitely a funny ender for sure. The butt of the knife. And I think it was an interesting decision from Shine, because obviously a lot of people are worried about the low when you have the knife out, right? You give such a potent damage buff because of the knife and what it gives access to. At the end, of course, it was like pretty much one hit away, so probably wasn't thinking too much about the damage output of it, but still, I like him bringing out that overhead, saved it for the end of the set as well. We didn't really see it beforehand. That's what you got to do as a top player.
And it makes a lot of sense too. I mean, we've started off the match before it even started talking about V-Trigger 1 and how many options it gives you in terms of like that activation, right? Like you can do it off of plus frames to initiate even more frame traps, do a little bit of extra damage. Even on block, you're still ticking away at that life. You're getting chip damage off of that. You're increasing your range exponentially off of some of your punch normals. All your punch normals, I believe, unless it was like Crouching Fierce. I think Crouching Fierce just still gives you like the regular animation. But yeah, other than that, it's still a great combo converter as well. The damage output, the potential damage output you get from knife is extravagant. We might be able to see that on the replay if we can check it out for you guys, and how it all went down between those two. Check it one more time. Again, it was Shine versus Brian F.
Yeah, and I think Crouch Fierce is the button that, even if it doesn't change much of an animation, it's the button that got the juggle property buff, so at least like huge damage for Cody now on the knife. I think that's the button, so most definitely a good look and just something to be thinking about constantly. We saw a really brave check from Brian F right there, but again, the Oro showed signs of brilliance. Excuse me, I got tongue twisted by Shine's name. But Shine, the brilliant one in that set today.
I was gonna say, man, if you let it rock, I was like, that's pretty bars.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, I do like that. So where are we at currently in the bracket, right? We have ChrisCCH making it through, going up against Mira. Then it's going to be Samurai versus Shine. Down below in the losers bracket, it's going to be Jot versus CuhzLightYear. Antony versus CLG's own Brian F.
Yeah, it should be good. The winter semis looking like heat. I believe we are getting to that Jot versus CuhzLightYear set next. Oh man, what did Paul Walker say? Is it forget about it, Cuh? That's what he's going to try to tell Jot right now when it comes to getting this lion's share of the prize pot today. Because again, all of our top 8 players are being paid out as well. Shout outs to CLG.
I keep thinking of that scary movie scene, right? You're trying to take a seat, but then you get hit with a mix-up. It's like, what happened to your furniture, cuz? Like that's all I think about with that name. Not gonna lie. When it comes to the word cuz, I'm definitely thinking about Scary Movie instead.
Oh man, that's a classic, classic series. I'll tell you what. And he's gonna be trying to scare his opponent a little bit. Jot showing no fear, usually bringing the Menat to the table, but we'll see. Up against that Ibuki, I think she can kind of bring a pace that makes Menat very uncomfortable.
You know, I think that's a very valid point. I think we talk about one of the biggest challenges that players face when it comes to playing off against Menat is how are you going to infiltrate her space? Oh. Well, first of all, you can't when it's loot. Second of all, let's talk about this matchup instead.
Fair enough.
John actually does have a pocket loot, being a part of the friendship circle that is Filipino Man, ChrisCCH, etc., etc.
Yeah, most definitely. The rest of the pajama crew.
Yeah, I almost said the government name before, but it is Fakito. My fault, E. My fault.
Oh, the V skill 2? What?
What happened to your furniture, cuz? I'm telling you right now, he actually took it away. You mean like a ghost?
Looking to haunt him something fierce right now. What a opening from Jot in that first round. Now again, establish this game a little bit. You earned a lot of respect in that first round. See how he makes use of it.
Yeah, it's already looking like a scary movie. As soon as Luke was presented on the screen, I was shivering. I could feel the hairs standing upon my head. Oh my God! You're actually dead. To infinity and beyond.
Have you seen that movie?
Of course.
Oh, you have? You seen the new one?
Of course.
It was fire?
With Spoonie?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you know, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Okay. I'll keep it in mind. And now Jot already pushing because like it's in his corner. No anti-air. Oh my goodness. And you're reaching? You better be careful.
Oh, that was a little bit too shallow, right? The kunai was going one way, but his body was facing this way, but his head was facing this way. That was the problem.
You go that way, I go this way.
I go that way, you go this way.
Oh, the trade, and we just slug it out afterwards. Jot staying medium punching for his life right now because ChrisLightYear fully loaded. Oh my goodness, let's start it up. Oh, just hold up forward, we out.
Oh, it's time to show off. Look at all the damage. Ugh. You know what? He wasn't even done. Look at that. I think she's dead between the string right here. Yeah. Oh my God. That has to go beyond the life bar. That has to be a documentary beyond the life bar.
That's a 30 for 30 for sure.
Yeah. That is definitely what it's about, man. Luke hit him so hard. Look, those kind of hits are the kind of hits that get you into Street Fighter 6. That's for sure.
That's how you bring it. That's how you show the people that you got to be in the next game.
Yes. Somebody asked what was the scaling, and I immediately replied, "What scaling? With Luke?
It was just like a reflex.
What's scaling with Luke? What do you mean?
We're privileged out here. No scaling.
Yeah. just to prove that we're live, I am answering questions in the chat.
Yeah, this isn't the in-game commentary. You know what I'm saying? That's for Street Fighter 6.
You might hear the lines, but you know, at the same time, that's just natural. You know, those are the ones I edited in. Oh boy.
Oh, I now got caught flinching for just a second, but nothing big just yet. And ChrisLightYear, yeah, I like that. Using a little bit more of the piercing attack, but we'll see if that pays dividends heavy.
Yeah, you do have to commit to it, right? You kind of treat it like a fireball if you're on the defensive end. You want to either whiff punish it or possibly jump it if you see the startup. But either way, man, I love how the bomb just smacks you in the chin for. Oh my God!
That's what I wanted.
Crisscross will make you jump, that's for sure. This guy, ChrisLightYear, broke all the ankles. There's no amount of ankle support or ankle insurance that Kobe Bryant could provide you to save you from that mix-up.
You gotta go to Wakanda. You gotta get the vibranium ankles.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can survive.
Vibranium ankles.
Oh, no reaching. Hands and arms inside the vehicle, Jot.
Yep, you gotta stay seated. Permanecer sentados, por favor. Taking him to Disneyland on that ride. I'm telling you, man. He's taking him to the Matterhorn, baby.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to throw him off the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
Activate the
That's a West Coast exclusive, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, trying to lock down this comeback, but nah, I'm not gonna be too long for mans at the moment. And I believe we actually got an update as well from Mother Base about the losers bracket side of things. I believe Brian F progressed over Antony off stream.
Yeah, that had to be like the Oro versus Ken matchup, if I'm not mistaken, down below.
Yeah.
That's going to be moving further on, progressing the bracket, as Rinch said. But going into it, like speaking of progression, we see ChrisLightYear kind of break down Jot after that pretty significant loss that he had in game number 1.
Yeah, most definitely. Good stuff from ChrisLightYear. Bouncing back from the deficit. That's a tough thing to do. Keeping your mental composed, adjusting to your opponent's strengths. That was good stuff from ChrisLightYear, showing that he is definitely capable of competing on this level.
And I'm getting roasted in the chat. Holy.
What happened?
All right, either way.
What happened?
Checking the lows. Somebody's like, what can't dishes do? Somebody immediately said grow hair. I'm listening and I'm watching, all right?
Wow.
I'm watching, okay? Eyes open. Shout outs to Lee Chung. Either way, that back throw, pretty significant for the position right now.
Definitely shout outs to Lee Chung, bro. I know it says winners quarters on the screen right now, but I believe this is losers bracket, so these players are fighting for their lives right now, both one apiece. Trying to keep it smooth. Oh, good blocking the cross up. The ankles, they're gaining strength. Oh, and just outside the range because of the empty jump. Well done from Jot.
Oh Oh, you know what that was. You know exactly what that was. Jot got away with murder so many times with V-Skill 2.
Yeah,
over and over and over again, expecting to get a throw bait. Because Lightyear actually, I don't know if it was like an attempted V reversal. I can't remember what he had on V-Gauge. But what was that, like a Fierce? Was that Crouch Fierce? I don't even know what his idea was there.
Oh, nice counter hit confirmed. Close enough to get it done, but my man John just jumping out of the corner, but it will not escape the pressure. Not enough this time, CuhzLightYear. Lots of scaling, just gets the corner carry combo. What we're gonna do next, puts the pressure on.
Did you see my man set up on the top ropes? He was looking like Jeff Hardy. He was gonna give him the Swanton bomb on the way through. That was actually pretty tight. Watch out for V-Skill 2.
Oh, you knew it. He wanted to get the big reward, the big damage.
You could smell it on these Luke players, man.
Speaking of which, tried to get that last bit of kunai at the end, but instead sliding on in. Didn't even have V-trigger. Just raw slide, believed in it. It had been paying off for him throughout the set. So CuhzLightYear, one more to the well and it pays off.
You know, that could have been deep in the well if that had been blocked, because you see how much meter Jot had to, if he had blocked it, bro, you actually would have been dead again. It would have been a reverb, or sorry, like another instance of what happened in game 1. Actually, speaking of which, I hope we have the replays ready. I would like to see how that whole round 1 transpired. We are probably gonna get that footage. I am a little eager beaver to see how it goes out, but you know, I didn't realize his name was Burning G. But damn, look at that.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with how quick they had the replays. I definitely was like, oh, there'll be a couple of seconds. And as soon as you called for it as the match ended, we are professionals here at CLG.
Yeah, I'm making production work overtime. My apologies, y'all. My apologies, but y'all are with the hot fingers today. Somebody's got a Steam Deck for sure.
It's all good at the end of the day because it only showed how skilled they are and how definitely tapped in they are. And once again, Jot going ham, doing a good job here. But honestly, CuhzLightYear was just too much.
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of instances where it wasn't even like a mix-up factor as Ibuki. There was an instance where Cuz actually got, man, I love saying that name. He actually got a really solid mix-up with the bomb, but it was most of the part like he cleaned up the spacing of his normals, right? He wasn't letting Jot get away with like outpacing him in the spacing department, right? If that makes sense, right? You're looking at some of the normals that are being whiffed from the previous game that we saw from CuhzLightYear. That's not the factor anymore. He was counter poking extremely well in this case, and Jot just happened to run into those normals.
Yeah, and I like him kind of bringing out some of the stuff that we didn't see in that previous setup against Luke. We now see the slide, which is like a little bit dangerous because it's a slide, right? If it's blocked, heavily punished. But in that Sandblaster range, max range, that's where Luke likes to get active. He likes to do things in that spot. So he kind of mixed it up between that, the right at this piercing attack. It was a lot of different options that was presented to Jot. I felt like Jot just couldn't get his game going really, right? It felt like he didn't really want to adjust to his opponent as much as knock him down once and then kind of run the Luke pressure. And I think that's kind of where it was a little bit detrimental to him.
And speaking of, right, we saw that run kind of end a little bit from Jot a little bit earlier than what he would expect or than he wanted, right? That's just how it goes with the competition. Let's take a look at that bracket and where we're at exactly and what we could anticipate next for our matches, right? We just saw what had transpired. Brian F still keeping the dream alive for himself. CuhzLightYear still making it work as well. Up above is where it's going to get hot and heavy. ChrisCCH versus IQ's own Mira, as well as Samurai versus Shine. Damn, this is, as you said earlier, this is a heavily contested bracket, by the way. This was to get into the top 8. It was maximum sweat. You're talking about peak summer heat.
Oh, the perspiration was everywhere. Most definitely. I hope the Old Spice was on deck. Because again, this is a top 8 that doesn't include Nephew, JB, Toy. These are monsters in the Street Fighter V realm that did not actually make it and competed in the ladder format today.
I forgot, man. You're listing out these names and I'm like, but how?
You're right, exactly.
But how? What?
Wow.
It's so tough. But like, I feel like no matter how you spin it with the West Coast, you're still gonna get like top tier quality.
Most definitely, and that's something that the ladder format has really presented, man. It just feels like no matter what, we're gonna get 8 players that are playing their asses off, and that's what we see right now. Winner semis, ChrisCCH and Mira. Chris gonna activate the V-Trigger, try to close out this last round, especially with that V-Trigger bully game. He's got the CA on deck as well. I thought he was gonna, plot on a chip kill. That's what I thought he was going with.
Avengers.
And Mira still looking to hire in the Winter Soldier. Oh no.
Yeah.
Immediate hit confirmed from ChrisCCH, looking smooth.
to be thrown into the summer solstice instead. He's gonna be put in that fire. ChrisCCH is delivering all that hot fire right now. He's throwing her right into it. Okay. Excellent rebuttal here from Mira. She's on the move, Ringe.
Almost definitely, and ChrisCCH showing no fear. Walking up, activating the V-trigger off that V-skill, trying to get her to bite, but great discipline defense, and now we got a raw activation, but crosscuts are here. That was an impressive button press from Mira. Oh my goodness.
Yes, that's the series I was looking for. I'm like, all right, in this very moment, she can't throw a normal thunderclap as fast and get priority over ChrisCCH's wake-up options. But if she did EX thunderclap, that's a whole different story, I feel like. So that was excellent decision-making.
That was a 2003 WWF. That was ruthless aggression from Mira at the end of that.
You know, I'm old enough to remember that, but I don't remember exactly what the marquee matches were.
Oh no, got caught whiffing a little bit early. We've seen a couple of times errors from both sides, and the players are making the most out of it. Mira. Oh, that's a punish. Let's go.
Yes, indeedy.
Oh my, he lived. That is a protagonist privilege right there. He's not even the main character of this game yet.
That sounds like Street Fighter 6 to me. I'm calling it out now. That's Street Fighter 6. That's the extended life bar.
Mira.
That was a really excellent punish. That was what you call a knowledge check, right?
Yes.
You know damn well that low medium kick is highly punishable, and that's something that's not new, right? Even the Shotos do have a very punishable low forward if it's not followed by a canceled special.
Yeah, and great job from Mira. As you mentioned, she's gonna be running into a lot of loops, so you can see she's ready for the highest level of competition when it comes to this character. Oh yeah, that was not gonna be a confirm. That was gonna go unpunished. Easy one for Mira.
Checking the movement immediately afterwards. You saw Mira actually attempt to go for something immediately after the crouching medium kick. Speaking of, does get confirmed. ChrisCCH on the prowl now, changing up the momentum.
Can we slow down the pace a little bit? The V shift into the V break. Saw the commitment from Mira coming out with some great life on her because of it. Oh, the whiff punish. Damn.
I mean, it wasn't as severe, but it still leads to this very situation. Backs off the meat. Yes.
Mira's so lethal with it right here. Oh, sunset wheel. Is the comeback imminent? Yeah,
staying safe. But the sunset wheel is still there. Ridge, he still manages to get a button. ChrisCCH, you dirty, dirty man.
We've seen a lot of people showing no fear in the face of plus frames and just in general looking to steal their turns back. ChrisCCH right here doing the damn thing. Oh no, ends up running into the electricity though. Holding up forward, that doesn't mean you escape just yet. V-shift afterwards, but still locked in this corner. Baits out the DP. This is going to be immense pain.
The stun, the back throw, the bravery. He's stealing. Oh, he's stealing. He's stealing.
Feel like ChrisCCH is playing in the mud right now. Oh, and the counter hit. Mira, don't go down there with him.
Drag you in the mud. Now you in River Styx.
Bruh.
You're dead.
Whole lot of life right now. Laura, she should be alive.
You're living. You're living. Yeah. But it is 2 lights away.
Man said you felt that?
Oh. He's only 1 punch away.
Oh my goodness. One take. I forgot what the guy on the hook's name was, but I'm not forgetting Mira's name right now. Oh, one again. Who was his Chingy and who? I forgot. He was like in I forgot what show he was. He was in Smart Guy. He was the older brother of Smart Guy. Yes, okay, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. We'll look it up. I'll Google it later. I got you.
DP's coming out once again on the fireballs. Right now we are turning it up.
Marcus Henderson, bro.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I wouldn't know his Smart Guy name.
They're like Jason Weaver or whatever.
There you go. The V-shift gonna just put him further into the corner at this point. Like I feel it, the pressure is turning up right now. Both these players trying to get into this winners finals. Ooh, the hesitation right there. Gave ChrisCCH just enough time to press the button and the reset into the command throw, but we still challenging.
Oh my God.
Tossed back. Oh, just outside range, but Mira not ready to punish with anything just yet. Another raw activation.
My God. The X uppercut, get off of me. No fear. Oh!
So
I
sick.
love the escape option.
More V trigger from either side in the trade. That's all ChrisCCH needed. Willing to slug it down that range. 1-1. Very, very good set so far.
I know we were talking earlier about surviving the mix as Luke with vibranium anklets. I feel like the way that ChrisCCH had stolen this round, he's got to be on house arrest. Those are different kind of anklets at this point. I think he's staying home in the grid. I think most definitely this man be stealing.
This man, he's gonna pull an Ant-Man, brother. He's gonna put the ankle bracelet on somebody else. Can't keep him locked down. He's gonna put it on Anton, somebody in the Best Friends Club.
Yeah. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do the time. Jot, where you at? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, got greedy with the reset, and Mira knew that he would. Was pressing buttons afterwards.
Oh, man, you love to see it. You love to see that. Oh, that was a counter hit back medium. Yeah.
Definitely was. And we see the damage output that comes after something like that.
It's so schnasty. It's so schnasty. Hit or block, back medium punch leads to doom. It leads to doom.
All right, Mira, though, fighting back. My ChrisCCH, so active on the defense.
Oh, no. Still gets the shoulder afterwards. In hot pursuit, Chris looking for 5-0 on the way.
Yeah, got the police scanner up and everything. Now Mira, back dashing for her life.
Thought you had me? You never had me. Oh my God! Okay, maybe he does. Maybe ChrisCCH has something.
Give me the last round, Mira. Oh,
Mira!
Yes, checks the jump out. Long distance. No. Yo, Steph Curry range on the crouch medium kick. It goes into the CA. That's a guaranteed top 3 for ChrisCCH.
I know for a fact Mira knows that exact sequence. I honestly thought the second jump out Mira was ready for, because I've seen so many times where Mira's been super diligent in the matches where she would actually chase the defensive options more often than not. That was Mira's round to win, because I know for sure she's rehearsed, like she's practiced that exact moment and is chased down with the anti-air elbow. That's just mad unfortunate. I know she has it in her to do it, but either way, still survives, moves on into the loser side at least. ChrisCCH is going to be our first candidate for the winners finals bracket.
You know, and that's one of the beautiful things about fighting games, right? Is the human element. So like, even when we know the answers and we know what can counter that specific instance, it's just in the moment, do you have the, I don't even want to say the skills, because obviously she does, but just in that moment, the pressure's on, everything's happening. You got to be clean with your execution. And I mean, anybody could falter, even the best of us.
Yeah, and we could see it exactly how it played out here in the replay, right, between these two titans, ChrisCCH versus Mira. It went down pretty much to the last round. Chris managed to sneak away a couple of these very, very pivotal hits, right? You talk about meter management and the awareness of what's going on the screen. Chris knew full well that that trigger was going to lead to Mira's death, but it could be the opposite end, right? This trigger could lead to your death itself. And what a punish, by the way. Team, look and see this punish.
Most definitely. And yeah, the protagonist privilege living for just an instant here, but another great usage of her meter right there, right? The V reversal, trying to cut off the rest of the screen, keep him locked down in the corner, just make sure he had minimal options to make that comeback. You see Chris constantly good with the challenges, really showed no fear, did a good job cycling between the DP and the wake up buttons. I mean, that's what I was talking about when I said he was playing in the mud. Like, he was doing DP, and then the next time, instead of like just blocking, my man woke up with like a throw or a button. Like, he is looking to try to make you guess even when he's waking up.
He's the mud monster. I'm telling you. He's the mud monster. He's just going to drag you down with him. And that's the kind of thing that goes into high-level play, high-level tactics, right? You don't want to be caught in your opponent's web. Like, you don't want to play the game that this person's trying to make you play, because then you lose sight of it, end up realizing it's the last round of the set. It's like, oh, damn. Like, oh damn, what happened? Like, it happens more often than not, even in the upper levels of the show, right? You talk about the competitive edge that some of these players present, and, you know, it's, you kind of see it prevalent in the way that they kind of mix up the strategies, or in terms of control, the way they kind of dictate the strategies of their opponent, right? They're forced to play this a lot more often than not. So again, ChrisCCH making it into the winners finals. Looking at the bracket though, Samurai versus Endemic's own Shine is gonna be pretty spicy.
Most definitely, it's going to be our other half of the winner semis, right? So winner of this gets into that top 3 finish as well. Going to be battling ChrisCCH for that spot, and IQ Mira dropping down to face CLG's own Brian F, which should be another heavy-hitting matchup. But right now, like you said, we're getting to that Endemic Shine versus Samurai, a matchup between players that I feel like, despite both being in SFL, I don't remember them playing too much, especially with this iteration of characters, obviously.
No, I think you're absolutely right, right? When you talk about the kind of character selection also from both of these players, I feel like it's never ending. To be fair though, like Samurai, he can play the cast, but he's primarily like a Shoto user plus Sagat.
Yeah.
Right? He does have to represent the Bald Squad. Endemic Shine, he's got an Ibuki, he's got a Cody, does have a Juri, does have a Seth, right?
Most definitely has been around the character select screen, has really learned the entirety of Street Fighter V's cast, and right there Samurai showing the awareness and respecting the threat of the EX Zong. Oh my goodness, and a whip punish afterwards. Samurai looking real.
Bad spray! God, it was his pocket sand.
Luke ready for a lot, but never ready for the pocket sand. No one is. Oh, and then the shank normals.
Here's a get out of prison.
That's definitely a wild. A lot of people, you know, they find religion, they find a new hobby, they like look up philosophy in prison. My man was just practicing shanking people. He was like, I'll bring that to the outside world.
That's exactly what it is. He's practicing the stabbing. Hey, Red. Oh boy. Oh,
the sway. My man's looking for the big reads.
I love it. Yeah, looking for the animation of the sandblast. If you're not gonna jump it, you still have V skill 2 to sway your way in.
Damn. Oh, Samurai with a big read, just hard back dash in the corner. Going to be able to switch the momentum heavy because of it. V-trigger activation. Oh, Shine just taking the throw at this point. +1.
Taking the knee also. Also maintaining this positioning in the corner. Off of a back medium punch, if it's not counter hit, you can't really go into as much. Oh boy, it's time for pain. He called it.
Oh, okay. Both players just nullifying the projectiles on the screen, and the huge jump in from Shine.
With the amount of damage, better call Saul right now. I'm telling you, right? It's gonna be criminal. Smooth criminal. Just hop in there. Jumping past the sandblaster. This guy has it all. I'm telling you, this knife is pivotal to the new Cody.
Yeah, it
Actually,
just
he's had this
shows
all the time.
it shows how much of a reward the character gets. The damage output is gnarly. But the Samurai try to get a little hesitation after that. Maybe not expecting Shine to get hit. Both players settling back down though.
What an interruption on the dash. Does get the full extension. I love that from Shine too.
The just instant of waking up with the buttons from Samurai, and now we got the V-trigger activation. Obviously fully loaded on the meter as well. Any crouch medium kiss, big damage.
You know Shine is very much so aware of the sandblasters. You see this?
Yeah, he's been having such great jump timings. He's been nullifying them with the EX Whirlwind. Oh, no anti-air that time though. Just backdancing, trying to get out. You know, he's pawing on that moment to activate his V-trigger, but Samurai not trying to let him get that close.
Oof. Yeah, continuing the combo with the sway into the ruffian kick, excuse me. You're dead. You're dead even dead. I love that. He started things off with a tree fitty, but due to inflation prices, that shape up is going to be a little bit more than that. That is a round cost. That is a game cost, actually.
My man. Yeah, the lineup prices matching the gas prices. They used to be tree fitty, but now everything has gone up, unfortunately. And Shine doing a good job. Hopefully he's called up Endemic as well, raise that salary. I know Paul George can afford it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I know Paul George can afford it, bro.
I think that's why Shine moved to Texas in the first place.
I feel that.
Even better. I get that oil.
Oh, both players, you can see such potency in the mid-range from both sides. Bad spray cutting him off.
Oh, I thought he was gonna land, but it just happened to be the eye of the hurricane, right?
Yeah.
That's not where you take the damage.
Ooh, bust out. Samurai showing that he's not scared, but Shine, he has the EX Zong locked and loaded level 2. And then you got caught walking back, but no big combo.
Yeah, he could have killed off of a crouching light kick activation. We've seen Momochi do it, but either way, manages to clean it up. He's just brushing the hair off the shoulders a little bit. He's like, all right, I'm almost done with your shape up.
You know how many times we've seen Momochi do it too?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Man, this is really plaguing a whole country with a crouch light kick activate.
I gotta ask him, do you feel good about yourself when you do this?
Yeah, oh.
I know his response is gonna be, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, when he won Japan CPT, he said, I picked Cody because 11 wasn't legal. I was like, wow.
Wow.
That is sending a message.
Wow.
Oh, nice DP. Samurai again, trying to keep him locked down in this corner. Send him back to jail. He needs to learn some lessons, bro.
Oh, send him right back into jail.
Reform this man, please.
Yeah. And here comes Ashy Larry. I'm gonna stop right there. The Viaverse was actually great. No pocket stand this time.
Yeah, no, Sean bringing it back to the mid screen, and with a combo and a throw, this is a very even scenario. And yeah, we don't want that activate afterwards.
And we kind of see the timing is a little bit different from Samurai when it comes to throwing out some of these sand blasters. Shine has been doing a great job of stuffing that part of the strategy out. Samurai, being the fireball thrower that he is, hasn't been able to throw it with a lot of success.
Yo, it didn't even need to wall bounce. He still just got the knife out, the exact damage he needed to follow whatever. And Endemic Shine with the Cody, taking it 2-0 over Samurai and putting himself in winners finals.
He was a defendant in this case, and he still won. He won this conviction.
Look at that.
He got caught with the knife and still managed to get out of jail. This guy is a beast. Endemic's own Shine moving on even further into the bracket. What's that got to be like? What? That's got to be winners finals, right?
Yes, exactly. He's going to be going up against ChrisCCH in the winners finals, a West Coast stable against someone kind of new to this region when it comes to online tournaments, right? Endemic Shine, obviously coming from the East Coast, incredibly strong player, incredibly strong region that has shaped up so many dope players. And Shine, he's looking lethal. He's bringing those skills to the West.
Speaking of skills, let's take a look at what exactly he used to take down someone like ChrisCCH, right? It had to be the knife. And instead of the Nike commercial, it's definitely a different kind of commercial. It's got to be the knife.
Yeah, exactly. It was just doing, and he just did it a lot of the time, right? We saw even in the previous set, he was just kind of like even going with the raw knife special towards the end when he knew that it would call out the opponent standing far away from him. So really utilizing every instance of the knife. We saw the low activate, obviously. We saw a little bit of damage left off the table, but nonetheless, he's just been so clean. A great bait. There's reads all around.
Yeah, taking down Samurai. I might have misspoken and said ChrisCCH earlier, but I definitely meant Samurai, right? They're one in the same legion at this point. But I'll tell you what, man, the results a little bit different, right? You talk about Shine and just this overall pressure. There wasn't anything Samurai couldn't really answer back with. One of his biggest options, EX uppercut, was definitely called out earlier in the set. Yeah. And then there you go. Once that intimidation factor, we talked about this in the earlier sets too. Once that intimidation factor sets in, you get to control everything in the match, especially in that corner.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about Menat having like on paper doing good against Luke, and I think Cody could present similar problems. That stand medium kick is really good. We obviously saw how the whirlwind affects the things, and just in general, EX Zonk can just skip so much of the neutral that I think Luke has a little bit more of a problem with Cody and just a little bit more of an uncomfortable time. So good stuff to Shine, showing that off, of course. And thank you to all of you tuning in to the CLG Run It Thursdays, the first edition. Obviously, big shout outs to East Coast, Logan, Brian, all of the players. Oh, excuse me, Logan and Brian. Logan and Rob. Good shout outs to Brian as well as in our bracket. But yeah, definitely big ups to everybody that made the East Coast a real special event. It has been dope on the West Coast so far. We're going to take a quick break before we get back to the action. Don't go anywhere, right here on CLG. ready, but you already know we stay ready around here, especially when it comes to the Street Fighter V action. We've already had some amazing matches. East Coast set the tone, West Coast is following suit. It's been a hell of a ride so far, and we're only getting to the real good stuff.
I love how fast and like legit you actually brought it back in, because you need time to like get your hair ready and everything. I'm cheating every day. I'm actually cheating every single time. So kudos to you for bringing that back with the quickness. That was actually mad good. You caught us mid thumbs up. We were back in the season 1 of Street Fighter V, but that's not the case here, right? Again, we do have ChrisCCH going up against Shine, but in fact, it's going to be held off until later. We're going to be going into the losers quarterfinals first, right? Samurai versus CuhzLightYear, and of course, Mira versus Brian F. As Rinch had mentioned just now, you do not want to leave your seats at any moment, because if you keep it locked in here, I can guarantee you it's going to get hot and heavy. I'm already sweating. I've been talking about it in the chat. We're actually all the way live here in CLG. And just to let you guys know and catch up with the tournament scene and what they've been doing. Again, this is the inaugural Street Fighter V tournament for the fighting game community, brought to you by CLG. We've actually switched it up significantly in terms of the format, right? We do have it in a sense where it's going to have like pretty much a ranking format where players are going to be going into like pretty much round robins, are going to be playing, accumulating points, and whoever gets the most points at the end of the sequence is going to be pushed into this top 8. And it's actually been pretty fire, pretty flames the whole time.
Most definitely. It's been great matches, and with the ladder format, we're always guaranteed to have 8 elite players that have been grinding it out nice and warmed up to go into this. And if you're a filthy weeb and are like, hey, CLG, you said this is supposed to be Guilty Gear Strive, that's next week. So we're going to be alternating between Street Fighter V and Guilty Gear Strive week in and week out. Obviously, $800 in prizes across both coasts, both tournaments, but let's get to it. Losers quarters.
Oh, already picking quarters, picking pockets from Brian F. Getting a couple of these command grabs where her hands shouldn't be. I don't even know if that outfit has pockets, Ringe.
It doesn't look like it, but they got picked anyway. My man's Brian F. left with nothing. We saw those cinder blocks earlier. He's going to need those for his car because the wheels are gone, the radio's gone, everything.
Yeah, give me a turtle too.
Oh, nah, not the turtle, bro.
Yeah.
Let him keep something.
He's making him walk back home. Yeah, give me that turtle, son.
Ooh, okay, fighting back now. Brian F doesn't want to relinquish the turtle just yet. Don't get bullied, fam. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, excellent timing. Man, I don't like the way those 2 fingers go out there like that. That is just too much of an extension of a poke. Like crouching medium punch, nah, son, that's too much.
I don't know where those fingers have been. Oh,
they've been up his nose, brother. You know how
we went over
boogers?
this. That's right. I forgot the fire sinuses.
Those are the hot Cheeto fingers, I'm telling you. That's where all the power comes from.
My man's never washes his hands. Just caked in the dust.
Yeah, dude. That's real, dude. That gets under the fingernails. That stuff just accumulates. I gotta be honest, man. You even caught me slipping talking about hot Cheeto dust. I gotta say, that caught me slipping a little bit. Like, all right, I'm gonna clean it up. Not the fingers, but I'm gonna clean it up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, most def. Yeah. For those of y'all that are not from SoCal, which I'm sure there's a lot of you in the chat, we used to have this spot by WNF that had like, what was it? They put like hot Cheeto dust on like the fries or some nonsense. Man. I forgot. It was some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
My man Oro was definitely in the back chefing up.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's definitely the culprit. Caught him red-handed, literally. Oh, word? You still got the stun? Minimum scaling. Minimum scaling.
I don't know why, but that stun elbow really sent me. That was like one of the best things I've ever seen.
You know what's even funnier? It didn't kill.
Yeah. The one hit in the stun actually didn't kill. Very surprised, but you know, I guess Oro maybe some damage issues without V-trigger.
Ugh, the fingers. The fingers.
The extension. He's got the sharp nails. Definitely doesn't bite him.
You better get your tetanus shot. That definitely broke skin. Ooh, man's having a great time. Screaming out, Yahoo! Man's in a Mario game. Oh.
Oh, catches the legs. Brian F putting him out against Spicy.
Man, the boogers are doing work. Oh, not for long.
Wait a second. Oh, stop trying to sneak in a jump. Got a little greedy with Brian F. Oh, you got the money ball.
Oh, nothing dirty here. Oh, I lied to you all. I was going to say Mira shaking hands with the off. Got the hand sanitizer on deck. But Brian F, he actually was the one with the Kleenex cleaning it up. I like that.
I see. So despite the filth, he's got some. He's sanitary when he needs it to be. Okay.
his sanitational awareness is up there, right? Like he knows what's dirty and he understands like when he's responsible for cleaning up at least.
Okay, that's full ends of the spectrum right there when it comes to the grime.
Yeah. He's got some degree of respect on him. You know what I mean? He's like, damn, I actually left a mess. Let me clean this up while he smears the rest of it with like dusty Cheeto. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's an attempt.
He's like the yin and yang of filth, right? Like he understands that there needs to be some dirtiness to balance the cleanliness.
Exactly. And it's like a passive, right? He's like that kid from Charlie Brown or whatever, like Snoopy cartoon, right? Or like the Peanuts gang. He's just that dirty dude. He's just like naturally dirty, but he doesn't mean to be, right? Pigpen is what his name is. Pigpen.
And we'll see right now who's got the most dirt in this round. Oh, the V shift into the V break to put a stop to any of that. But again, he keeps trying to get loaded up on his projectile and getting stuffed for it.
Oh, that's a big punish. You might be dead.
Oh.
You actually might be taking a lot of damage.
Oh my
There's still a little bit left of trigger.
The cinder
No,
blocks.
reset has to happen.
Oh!
Yo!
And I love that from Brian. The moment she landed, the active frames were in that ass. Like, you are not getting the button press off.
Reg, you know what that was? He wiped it down with the Kleenex and he littered. He left the evidence. He left the evidence.
That's how you know it's a North American bracket, not a Japanese bracket. It's like, no, you can litter here. You can get away with it.
He's cool with the fine, man. He be making them Oro bucks. Oh,
armor this time back from Mira.
Man, that elbow be doing work. Put some grease on that thing.
Oh my goodness. Cross on her. She's trying to bring this into the anime realm.
I know we're playing Street Fighter 5. I know.
Goodness, Brian.
I didn't know Strive came early.
Yeah, for real.
Yex. Man, this interaction has been crazy.
Oh my goodness, Brian. He's on the verge of progressing in the bracket here. Activates the V trigger. Oh my goodness, the challenge from Mira. How are you so brave?
Oh, yeah.
The monkey flip into the corner.
That is indeed the monkey flip, actually.
Yeah, that's his back though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's actually pretty good. Look at that. What is this win pose, man?
I want to know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he's doing like the old, like the Jim Jones thing where he like puts it over his eye, or if he's like trying to cover his nose. I don't know what is going on with him, and I never want to know, to be honest.
He's mid dusty, right? He's trying to figure out like how to get it off of his under his crusty fingernails. It's a little nasty. Now I'm actually kind of getting some shivers thinking about that. It's kind of nasty. But what's not nasty is, I was gonna say, not the gameplay, but it's actually been pretty nasty. Actually, these guys have been mixing each other pretty consistently. Like Mira, she's definitely got the mix. She's actually mixed master McGee when it comes to the Laura play, right? She is the character that comes with set play and some really heavy mixes. I feel like Oro is definitely that kind of cat as well when it comes to having the V trigger activation, right? I think that's when he gets the grimiest with through in the hands of Brian F, right? We've seen it go pretty much tit for tat. It's pretty much like what, 1-1 at the moment. It's currently tied because this is still going to be 2 out of 3 all the way through up until the top 3 of the bracket.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's it though for that set, right? Wasn't that was Brian's second dub? I think.
Oh man, I'm tripping then.
So we should be good.
Okay, then I'm tripping. Them matches go by quick, man. Hey, I'll tell you what.
We mentioned it at the top of the set, right? Usually in the top 8 brackets, we're very used to 3 out of 5. So we're kind of used to matches and sets lasting a certain time. Yeah, so thrown off a little bit. But Brian taking care of business as he should here on Counter Logic Gaming, repping his sponsor well. But we got CuhzLightYear and Samurai on deck to see who faces him.
You know, I'm new on the block. I gotta admit, when it comes to commentary about who's not new on the block, a CFN, CuhzLightYear, right? He did change his name, former sergeant, not of any sort of military capacity, but I've used that line before. He's gonna be going up against Samurai. This is gonna be one to really, put the jokes away. This is one to kind of really behold, because this is gonna be the true testament of CuhzLightYear's fundamentals. This is gonna be the ultimate boss check, the mini boss check, not even mini boss. This is actually like the side boss that's optional in any RPG. Is like you have your main storyline. This is the boss. It's like you better have all of your skills set already before you face this man, because he's going to test you with every bit of knowledge in the game. And that's exactly the kind of character, kind of player Samurai is.
Yeah, most definitely. We saw him play earlier, and he's just so fundamentally sound. And pretty much when it comes to playing on the ground, that's why he sticks to the shotos, right? He just wants a low forward and a fireball and a clean anti-air. And if he could do that, then he could beat you at Street Fighter, and that's what he brings to the table. So CuhzLightYear, we're going to see how he has to kind of combat that a little bit. Will he try to play that same type of ground game? Will he try to use Samurai's strengths against him? That's one way to throw off the opponent a little bit when they're expecting you to maybe bring out a kind of unorthodox or a more aggressive style. But that's always kind of the primary game plan for Ibuki, right? Is like getting in close quarters, mixing your opponent up, getting that V trigger, and just kind of not letting them ever play. So we'll see if CuhzLightYear can bring that to the table. Again, against Samurai, it is going to be a mountain of an obstacle to do.
And then we talked about the player versus player. Let's talk about character versus character, right? I think Ibuki does a pretty solid job of getting around some of the fireballs that Luke presents, but that's just one aspect of the neutral.
Wow, great buffer right there from CuhzLightYear. Expecting Samurai to advance after the piercing attack, which he did.
And you're looking for it, right? Samurai is trying to... Oh, boy. And speaking of getting around fireballs, technically Ibuki's V-Skill 1, you got to treat it like a fireball as well. But, man, he punched him so hard.
Yep.
He punched him so hard back into the main menu. My man's had so much hang time. I feel like Jordan couldn't even contest in his prime.
Most definitely right. Jordan is that was the inspiration. That was how the hang time came to be in the first place, right there. Just saw the Luga smashing him into the skies, and I mean, we got smashed back to the menu, but it's okay. I like it. That is there's things that happen when it comes to online fighting games, right? This is the online tournament realm, and these technical difficulties happen from instance to instance, but it's all good. We'll be back into the match momentarily. But it looked like exactly what we were expecting. Samurai doing a great job. We saw the hit confirms come out, right? As soon as CuhzLightYear kind of got outspaced, that's when Samurai just started kind of building that snowball of momentum. And we were going to see if CuhzLightYear kind of cut that off, but we got cut off.
That's true. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. Yeah, that entire sequence would have led to significant advantage, right? You get that corner positioning. You do get Oki after that. You're going to get another flash knuckle that follows through after the upper, right? That big confirm just leads to so much against CuhzLightYear. And that's the kind of thing that's the biggest testament. Samurai knows exactly what to do in every situation, right? He reacted purely on the animation of V-Skill, right? That's something that players that have been playing against Ibuki have been looking for a very long time, right? That's something to keep in mind. You treat it like a fireball. You see that animation. I'm gonna go full James Chen on this one. You treat it like a fireball, right? And then when you get that jump in, it's like it's very reactable. You get all the damage. And I love my man James Chen for it because he breaks it down significantly, right? He made that analysis before in multiple seasons of Street Fighter V that it's just pretty much resonated throughout the gameplay and like strategies of all these players. Now you have to make sure you jump on it correctly.
Yeah, most definitely, right? And I think that's something to keep in mind when you're kind of learning Street Fighter V and trying to elevate your game a little bit, is that there's certain moves like the piercing attack that you could treat just like projectiles, and they have long commitment recoveries that get jumped in on, and that's what kind of Ibuki has to do to fight that range against Luke. But if you go to the well one too many times, then your opponent becomes used to it. They get visually used to it as well, so it's easier for them to react and jump in on. That's why you see the first one is usually successful, but we saw the second one immediately punished. So Samurai is just too good of a player to kind of use such a long, like lasting option, like one that takes a while, against him multiple times that quickly.
Yeah, you definitely get diminishing returns when it comes to that kind of strategy, right? Once it's implemented, it kind of scales a little bit mentally. It's like, all right, well, I've been used to that. Now I'm going to look forward to outspacing you for the next one. But at the same time, you kind of flip it, right? There's been so much information being told right off the bat from that single round. One way to kind of implement it differently, I don't think Ibuki can really take advantage of this per se, but you could see Samurai kind of going for like low forward fireball, and then afterwards he would kind of like pump fake a little bit and then throw the fireball right in front of your face, right? If you kind of reduce the amount of space that it takes to kind of react to the fireball, it makes the person think, is like, all right, well, this person might not even throw the fireball. I'm actually looking for the normal instead. So Samurai, again, very, very prominent when it comes to the fireball game. He understands the mentality behind it and the spacing especially. So that's something to keep in mind for all of the cats that are like watching this right now. That is some pretty damn good fundamentals of Street Fighter right there that was implemented from both sides.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, like that you highlighted the fact that he kind of plays with the ranges of Sandblaster, right? And because when you're a little bit closer and you're expecting other things, your mental stack starts getting weared down. You end up like having to commit, or you kind of like feel that you're forced to commit rather than react because of how well he's doing in cycling the offense and being like, at this range, there's so many things that he could do that like my reactions and my mental composure is getting overwhelmed. So that's when you kind of see the desperation come out, or you see the Hail Marys come out, where people start just reversing or trying to hard call out these things with like projectile invo options that, if they go wrong, end up getting them punished heavily.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the Hail Mary factor. I think neither of these players are one to really crack under pressure. One has been tried and true. We've seen that through ways of Samurai, right? He's pretty much he stayed home instead of partying. He studied the blade, right? He's definitely one of sturdy steel. CuhzLightYear, I will say he's like the Mike Tyson of CFN, right? He's gone through the dirtiest of the dirt. Like, he understands what it takes to play in the district of CFN. Like, don't turn that corner. That's CFN town. Like, that's ranked. Don't go there. Like, that's
Yeah.
where the hard knocks are, man. And I gotta say, CuhzLightYear is definitely one of those cats to have polished polish his craft, right? From pretty much all that pressure, turning himself into a diamond plus.
Yeah, it's been great to see him kind of progress and really compete on this level. As you said, his skills are getting tested right now. I believe we're going to be back into the game momentarily. He seems to be ready. I think CuhzLightYear is the one that ended up dropping. So I didn't hear Mother Base clearly. I'm not sure if he's getting the round or what ended up happening, but we're going to get back into the match very soon. So big ups to everybody that's tuned in, of course. We're going to get back into Samurai and CuhzLightYear. Samurai, obviously on that Luke, very fundamentally sound that we've seen so far. CuhzLightYear on the Ibuki definitely has not cracked under the pressure yet of Samurai. We're going to see how he kind of is able to get his offense going. That was the problem when we saw a little bit of that first round. So yes, momentarily for sure.
In the meantime, we do appreciate each and every one of y'all for showing your patience and showing your love, really, for both FGC and CLG. You guys have been doing so much for every single game that's been out there. There's been a lot going in rotation, and I know I see a lot of these familiar names like in multiple streams, right? Like back and forth, coast to coast. Y'all have been killing it, absolutely killing it, and we're glad we're able to provide you this level of hype each and every time, right? I talk about the inimitable energy of the FTC, right? You can't replicate this. This is raw. This is passion. This is all of y'all too. So again, we appreciate y'all first and foremost. And with CLG stepping into the scene, you already know there's going to be so much more to look forward to, right? As we get into our next couple of games, we do have so much more to tell you about, right? Guilty Gear is going to be happening next week. So pretty much mark your calendars. Ringe is going to be throwing it down. Again, it's going to be huge every single week with CLG. You guys do not want to miss it.
Yeah, and if you just tuned into the West Coast edition of Street Fighter V today, we had a whole East Coast bracket before this, and I highly, highly recommend going back and watching the VODs. Extremely entertaining commentary, of course, from Logan and Rob, but the sets were ridiculous. Domination, Arturo, Kudo, everybody was playing their asses off, so I really, really recommend going out and checking that. The Street Fighter V action was phenomenal. As Vicious mentioned, we're getting Strive next week as well. And with all the heavy hitters that came out this week for the ladder, I'm expecting it to be met in that scene as well. And it's just in general a beautiful time for the FGC. We got the CLG run at Thursdays going down, but there's so much going down every week. We got WNF, Tampa Never Sleeps. We got Salt Mine League, like literally around the world. Red Bull Tuesdays, Red Bull Mondays is coming back in Japan. But yada, yada, we are back
Red Bull
into the
Mondays.
match.
You already know there's so much fighting game content out there. Everybody is getting in on the action, and we love to see it. And speaking of action, we're already right back to it. CuhzLightYear had to forfeit the round due to that connection, and it is what it is. That's just the breaks. That's the rules, man.
Most definitely, and big ups to both these players just going back into it, right? Surrendering around, playing it out for the rest of the set. And obviously Samurai looking to maintain that control, got himself an early round via connection error, but he might have taken that anyway. Ooh, I like that. The max range on the forward heavy kick definitely gives a bit of an awkward position for people to press buttons back on.
I love seeing that. That is like the ultimate finesse, right? Getting a low medium kick counter hit and then going into light kick for the extension. It's so cool. It's actually so cool.
Super clean right now. And CuhzLightYear's crouch medium kicks have been very on point. See a harassing it, putting Samurai down to the magic pixel. We'll see how much magic he got loaded in that bad boy.
Man, if these toys could talk, I'll tell you it's all magic, right? CuhzLightYear, right? Oh, Oh,
Done.
that's a different kind of magic. It's like, watch me pull a kunai out of my hat. Or whatever.
Oh my goodness. Samurai trying for the EXDP. Bet big. Didn't pay off.
You got to save those kind of bets for Evo at Las Vegas, brother.
For real, bro. You've been following Drake too much, trying to invest in stake.
Ugh.
Oh, jumping the kunai.
That's actually super good. You know, well versed in the matchup. Samurai definitely knew about that. Saw her go airborne, immediately matched it. Did not want to be susceptible to the EX kunai.
Yeah, right. That gives Ibuki such a dominant position offensively. Oh, nothing afterwards. A couple of crouch medium kicks left on the table. You hate to see it.
And I like that. Yeah, there wasn't a confirm, a little bit of extra damage left on the table, but Samurai, I think he was looking for something else. Maybe he wanted to bait an uppercut, right? Because normally those hits do not fly accordingly. Samurai, if he gets those crouching light punches, he'll definitely go into a combo. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, the dodge of the V break and then he exploded afterwards. That was so cool. No combo, but nonetheless, CuhzLightYear has brought himself back into this game and then calls out the V reversal.
Ooh. I gotta talk about the smarts after this, but EX kunai, he gets the full punish. That's gonna be the game for CuhzLightYear striking first blood. Let's talk about that sequence in the corner real quick, Ringe. Have you noticed how often Samurai has been looking for the kunai in those instances where the jump-ins happened? Cuz actually jumped in twice. The third time went for the EX kunai and actually managed to catch Samurai off guard. That was really solid in decision making. Those were some executive decisions being made. He is now CEO of CFN.
It's most definitely Samurai. Looking like he's got a new Shogun to pay some honor to right now. CuhzLightYear doing the damn thing with some heavy conditioning and hard reads. As you mentioned, we saw the 2 jumps to kind of condition him not to do anything on the kunai, and then 2 hard callouts on the EXDP reversals. Those were huge plays that ended up getting him a lot of damage. And the fact that he won that game after he ended up getting disconnected, right? That was the round that Samurai got in that game, was because of the disconnection. So this is a lot of momentum and a lot of mental damage done.
What's actually kind of wild about that is something you won't learn in the streets of online ranked. Figuring out the Samurai, the clutch factor, right? The reason why he's OCV'd and left a trail of bodies in multiple Street Fighter leagues is because of the fact that he knows when to let it rip. But CuhzLightYear's been doing his homework, man. He be studying in Andy's room. He's looking over the textbooks while he's gone, man. While he's off to college, he's studying he's studying what? Geometry. He knows all the angles. He's got his calculus down. He's got the math in.
I swear I gave up on math with geometry. As soon as we started getting into angles, I was done.
You didn't miss anything with calculus, I can guarantee you. I went through the AP courses. I've done it in college. Listen, I'm not even using it today. I'm a commentator now, bro. Am I using my degree? No.
Oh, how I feel that as well.
Let's go, student loans. That's what I'm talking about.
College graduates for no reason. Let's go.
You already know. One's in the chat if you feel me.
Oh, Samurai. I wish they taught me that in college. Whiff punishes all day. Oh my God, stop being so active on defense. End up getting him killed.
We're starting to get real aggressive here from Samurai. And I love that. Also with the V skill too, you love to see it. I love the utilization of it, man. You catch so many folks off guard, and even on block, it's still a threat.
Almost deaf. Oh, Chuggles. Now, CuhzLightYear, my goodness, that was a clean whip punish again. Finally, Samurai finds a successful EXDP.
Ugh. I love the anti-air choice, right? Nice and simple. The back medium punch leads to a lot of
trick I'm attractive. That was that rich spirit Kendrick Lamar style.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I mean, we'll see if we can silence the trigger coming in from Samurai, right? It's about to be on Silent Hill, actually. Oh, my God. That was actually kind of nasty.
Throw these bombs off me like, ugh.
With them kunai hits like, ugh. Sorry, man.
Oh, yeah, now we're settling back down to that footsie game. Oh, I love that. I can't believe CuhzLightYear ready for the jump.
This is kind of dangerous, though. Samurai, okay, this is kind of like a wait and bait situation. He is moving back and looking for any sort of riffs from CuhzLightYear. Oh, that would have been pivotal if he got that back throw, but not today. Oh, my God. Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Oh, my God. I don't know how he ended up behind them right there. The neck was unprotected full screen projectiles, but still you got such a life deficit to come back from. Oh, Samurai knows, bro. He's very disciplined. He knows the road he's got is very long, filled with treacherous mountains, treacherous enemies. CuhzLightYear doesn't have any kunai loaded though. Maybe looking for that if he gets full screen again.
I mean, no, you gotta be kidding me. I was just about to talk about the light kick. The best, one of the best moments you can have in this situation, and Samurai whiff punish a light kick with his own light kick. Are you freaking kidding me? Bro, the amount of words I want to use for that whiff punish is astronomical. I'm about to use I'm gonna use the entire dictionary.
She's got a full kunai now. Did eat a bit of a V-trigger for it. Yeah, you can do the EX was coming. Oh my goodness. And CuhzLightYear once again has the DP reads on Samurai and baits it out for the 2-0 victory. Wow, I am so impressed, honestly. Like that was a moment where you get the plus frames. It feels like you don't want to let the match slip away, right? It really felt like one of those moments where he was gonna press a button. I so don't blame Samurai for DPing right there. In my bones, in my heart of hearts, I thought ChrisCCH was gonna continue that pressure. But man, that just shows he has done his homework and then some. The extra credit is complete.
If this is where the rest of the game is it might be easy mode, or it should be after the RPG side boss has been defeated, right? You've gotten all the skills, you've gotten all the extra weaponry in you, but you still have another boss to fight off against. He has to face off against Brian F. That's actually going to be kind of nasty. But if you guys are asking yourselves, man, how did he even get to this point? Let's take a look at the replay, right? These guys have been duking it out. Samurai and ChrisCCH, they had a little mishap in the beginning. Samurai actually got that round because of a slight disconnect. The streets of online are kind of tough, but ChrisCCH making it back, right? He caught a little bit of it, made his recovery, and is now immune to it.
You know, and you remember, you said at the very beginning of this set, this is where ChrisCCH's skills, oh yeah, the execution error right there. Or maybe he was just trying to show him some disrespect, get into his head for later. And then the bait out on the DPs, that has really been the tail of the tape when it comes to this match. But to get back to my original point, you said this was going to be ChrisCCH's biggest test when it comes to his raw fighting game skills. And man, how good is he nowadays? He's really come such a long way and looks so polished.
Ugh. Yeah, that was probably the rawest I've seen from ChrisCCH. I think that was the most when it came to the reads, right? One of the biggest things we like to elaborate. The giant asterisk was definitely the reads, because Samurai seems to be unreadable at times.
Yeah.
Right? This is an accolade in and of itself. And then on top of that, the schmixes are so nasty. That's point number 2. ChrisCCH put in more boards. He got more boards than Charles Barkley back in his day. I'll tell you what, man, these are a lot of rebounds he's been catching Samurai off guard with. A lot of bricks coming in from Samurai, and just like that, you see it right there. You saw the bricks.
Got bricks, family, Shaq, free throws. Shout outs to Freddie Gibbs, of course. I see you, Gibbs, not dropping the album this year because of Kendrick and Pusha and Drake. It's a smart move, I understand. But anyway, loser semis, CLG's own Brian F in the building, going up against ChrisCCH to see who gets into that losers finals.
Ooh, a little bit too far out. Thought that crush counter initially. That roundhouse actually catching Brian F from jumping.
My goodness, we are active both sides here, but just outside the range actually gives Brian a big back throw incident. Now we get the pressure.
Oh, that's plus.
Chop.
That's not. Oh boy.
The elbows yet again, bruv. The social distance dab.
And I love the decision making from Cuz yet again. He's chopped the rocket on his back. He's ready for flight. Oh no!
Threw away all the kunai. I don't need these.
The wind blew the fire.
Oh no, bro. Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous.
I have never hit that level of octaves before. This man's making me sound like a prepubescent bald man.
The money ball is there. Oh no, but the anti-air is not.
Even with the assistance of Sean's basketball, you still couldn't buy a basket. Oh my god.
My goodness, no cash, nothing. And now Brian F. Oh yeah, trying to settle back down here. Nice, that vacuum effect, leaving him in throw range like that is so potent for Oro.
That was a lot of damage too off that entire sequence, right? Checking the dash into the back throw, kind of nice.
Ooh. Interesting little interaction right there. Oh no. Damn.
You love to see it too. That standing jab just leads to so many things, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly where the freeze frame happens, and you hear the record scratch. Is like you're probably wondering how I got here. That's exactly the moment where it's like, damn, I need more time to think about what option's about to happen.
Oh, the explosion actually caught the neutral jump. I thought Brian was so smart for a second. Like, hey, he looked like a genius, and I was like, oh no. Ooh, trying to bait out an anti-air there. Again, CuhzLightYear has just been so good. Look at that. I love the compact pressure right there, not letting him wake up with buttons. V-trigger active again, not biting, knows he can eat a throw or two.
Oh, I love it. Right now, ChusLightYear making all the right decisions, getting himself out of the corner and waiting out the V-trigger. That's actually super important. He's going to take a good amount of damage here and the Oki situation, but Brian F, hey, not bad. No quick rise. He studied the matchup.
Yeah, the non-quick rise, so potent. ChusLightYear is playing this matchup very, very effectively. Look at that, not getting caught, slipping again, and gets that crouch medium kick. His crouch medium kick usage also off the charts right here in top 8.
Yo, Cuz is playing out of his mind right now. Do you know how much discipline, how much mental discipline it takes to understand that this jump, this little jump that Oro has can be changed? Like his trajectory can be completely changed. You know how much discipline you have to not commit to a button or an uppercut? A pretty decent amount. I've seen a lot of like Brian F's highlight clips. A lot of folks get smoked by that second jump.
Yeah, his patience and discipline has been extremely impressive. Like he's making 55th proud right now.
Oh,
yeah,
his offense is one thing, but Chad is on one. I got in a positive way. His defense has been phenomenal.
Yeah, the discipline. Like I can't believe how little he stuck his hand in the blender here. Like it's very easy to try to reach up against Oro. Look at this, the shimmy was perfect. Even after that, that actually was trading in his favor.
That booger tracks stuck through it like Velcro. Are you kidding me? Oh, bruh.
Puts a stop to that early. We have V-trigger active. Here comes the bomb. We tried to wait for an Oro reversal, but a great block.
Man, he took the trip from Texas to Legoland all the way in San Diego. This man's picked up some blocks. I'll tell you what, nobody ever blocks the bomb. Nobody.
I can only block my bomb.
Yeah, nobody blocks my own bombs. Nobody. Doing it again.
Man, with the long distance chop, he's been reacting consistently again. Yeah, I like the low commitment option on the anti-air. Didn't bust out with the EX or anything.
Same side. The interruption from the elbow.
Can't believe that was able to thwart Ibuki's button right there. Oh, the back dash. Just outside of range with the leaping knee.
Oh! Strings afterwards. Checking with the fingers. He's trying to gauge the distance. Instead of using measuring tape, he's using his fingernails.
Oh no, finally a perfect time jump.
I wasn't sure about the reaction noise when you said, what do you think about the Cheetos? Come on, son. I don't know. It's as much as Brian F didn't know where to block, right? I'll tell you what, everybody at one point gets hit by the Sien. What is the Sien, you might ask? You may not know. That mix-up right there with the air release kunai, that is the Sien, where it's pretty much so hard to tell where to block.
Yeah, exactly right. They jump at a trajectory where it's a very often a cross up, but right before they cross up, they hit you with a kunai right in front.
Yeah, it was coined and patented by top player Sien from Singapore, and that's been his name ever since. That has been like the labeled name for it.
And just in case you didn't see it the first time, he gave it to you one more again, and wow, he tried to shimmy him out his boots right there.
No need for a replay. We saw it twice.
Yeah.
Oh, no booger. A couple of boogers, all right. And he's using it mostly, he's using the V skill to walk behind, to chip damage and gain some estate. Oh, that was going for the throw bait. He was trying to get the chicken feet.
But we've seen ChusLightYear, he's just been biting so little on all these bait attempts. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that slot. When the dash check is there, ChusLightYear for 55th, making Crip back proud. 2-0 over Brian F.
What is going on, Ringe?
I mean,
what
I
is
was
actually going on?
I was not expecting my man ChusLightYear. Very high ranked, obviously doing a great job in Street Fighter V, and as you mentioned earlier, has been steadily improving over the course of the game. But when I saw him in top 8 over the likes of the people JB, Nephew, Toy, these players that I've seen have such great results for years, to have him in top 8, I was already pretty surprised. But not only has he been in top 8, he has made it to top 3 and has taken down Brian F in the process.
Hot damn. You know what that means, though? That means we're in 3 out of 5 territory, if I'm not mistaken. As we take a look at the bracket, no, I'm sorry. As we take a look at the replay first, as to how it all went down, listen, there were so many things to highlight with the gameplay from both ends. But more importantly, I got to say, CuhzLightYear, knowing full well what the matchup was before him, right? He was looking right at his homework against Brian F. And to be fair, my man Brian F puts out a lot of information out there. And it's one of those things where he wants to get better as a player. But guess what? When you go to the library, you get that freedom of information. Best believe you're going to get checked out.
Exactly, and it's a road I admire for a player to take when they kind of stream all of their sets and all their tech and whatnot, because as you mentioned, the players are very familiar with you when you do that, which obviously pushes you to be better. And if they're that familiar with you, to beat them, you really have to play your ass off. So it definitely makes you improve as a player in the long run, but you're gonna catch L's along the way on that road to improving. So Brian F right here was definitely known by CuhzLightYear a little bit better than CuhzLightYear was known by him.
That's absolutely a fact, because again, you talk about, we both actually have been talking about CuhzLightYear and in his previous moniker, right? We talk about how often he's seen in the realm of online play. Even if he's not streaming it as much, best believe he is known to be in the mean streets of CFN more often than not. And again, big shout outs to CLG's own Brian F for his run in the tournament. He was streaming it as well. And now rating the channel with 479 viewers. I can tell you what, that is pretty hefty for the love and support of the West Coast. And we appreciate y'all for real for tuning in. My name is Vicious here with Ringe. And of course, you guys are tuning in to CLG XFGC for our Run of Thursdays, our inaugural tournament for Street Fighter V. And we've come down to our top 3. Ladies and gents, I gotta tell you what, man, it's been pretty fire so far. ChrisCCH has to go up against Endemic's own Shine, and this is a match that has been going on for a while, actually, between the two. These guys are very much so well acquainted with each other.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear. That means there's going to be no surprises. Both these players at the top of their game right now, trying to take it to the next level in Street Fighter V. Honestly, both of these players very, very good. Top 8 caliber, but I know both of them, especially with the new game on the horizon, they are trying to make the most out of their Street Fighter V careers right now and show people that they're going to be forced to reckon with, be a force to be reckoned with, not only in this game, but for fighting games in the future as well.
For a little bit of a detailed breakdown, right, when it comes between ChrisCCH and Shine, again, this is going to be 3 out of 5 territory. Out of all the sets they've played throughout the year of 2021, at least, Shine has actually had the better half against ChrisCCH, winning a pretty significant number. It is 57%. In comparison to ChrisCCH's 43, right? We talk about the WNF online editions, right? All of those kind of episodes that we've had for the West Coast. You know, Shine is able to participate. He is from Texas now, so it is divvied up for him to play. Also in Red Bull Kumite, in the losers finals, Shine was able to... Actually, no, Shine went down to ChrisCCH. What am I talking about? So I guess in terms of like the most recent standings, although Shine has had the better record per se, Chris has had the better of him in the most recent set they played.
Okay, and I would say at a 57-43%, obviously, and it's not a clear 50-50, but I would consider either side being able to win, right? It's barely an advantage for Shine. And I do think, however, going into this, besides the stats, we've seen Shine play really well up against Luke on the Cody. We've seen that definitely that character giving Luke in general some problems, not only in this region, but in Japan as well, with Momochi piloting the character. So we're going to see Shine is obviously going to be very used to the matchup right now, and he's already exploited it to a successful extent before. So ChrisCCH definitely going to have his hand full here.
Yeah, in the meantime, again, as we are gearing up and getting ready for our top 3, we are going to take a significant break, but you guys do not want to miss it. It's going to be who we're going to see determining the best of the West Coast. You guys have tuned in all the way through, but guess what? We still got a lot more to go. So hang in there. We got more Street Fighter V coming in hot for Run It Thursdays with CLG. Back in like we never left. You already know it's going to be Street Fighter V action coming in from CLG uniting with the FGC. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a spectacle to behold because we've had so many killers from coast to coast. And on top of that, these guys have been providing a pretty hefty prize pool. You guys saw it in the slides earlier. $800 going divvied up between the coasts, right? 400 apiece for all of these players that have been throwing down in our top 8 payout and what you could expect. First place getting 200 bones for that one. I like it. Second place with 80. Third place with that 52. We're doing the math here, right? We got the 7%, 3%, and the 2% for 4th, 5th, and 7th. That is 28th, $12, and the big old Kobe Bryant, number 8. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is free to enter. And this is a whole different format. Just to let you know, Ringe, I know you've been tuning in from the East Coast segment for a while. How do we even break this down? How do we even break down the format for the folks listening at home?
So basically what we got going on week in, week out is a ladder format that's going to be region locked. East Coast got their own ladder, West Coast got their own ladder. That's going to be for Street Fighter V and Guilty Gear Strive. And you can play as many matches as you want up until the top 8 is time to go, right? So it's really all about how many games the opposition is playing. You're going to get to a certain amount, get into a certain win percentage where you're going to feel comfortable enough to be like, okay, I can settle down a bit. But West Coast was all perspiration today. Like, players had to play constantly to make sure that they were in that top 8 echelon to move on. So again, you could actually sign up after the tournament has already started. People can be playing games and you could hop in and get your games in to still make the top 8. So there's no set like a sign up time each and every week. Is going to be pretty much it's going to cut off a half an hour before the broadcast for top 8 starts, which is going to be 5 p.m. Eastern and Pacific respectively. So that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go in, get your games in for the ladder, and get enough W's and get a good enough record to make it into the top 8.
Balling out of control like always. Every time I throw him the alley-oop, he slams it down just like these guys have been doing it all throughout the top 8, right? I hope your fantasy picks have been correct. In fact, let's take a look at the bracket as we get into our top 8 and see how it all folded for some of these players, right? We see where we're at currently. ChrisCCH gearing up to play off against Endemic's own Shine. Down below, my man is taking off like a rocket ship. It's CuhzLightYear. Turn off the body cam because this guy is putting on sheer violence when it comes to the losers bracket. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, most definitely right there. That is not a place you want to be on the other end of a turned off dash cam. I'll tell you what. ChrisCCH and Endemic Shine, though, they're going to be battling out, and the loser is going to be on the other end of that. So they're going to try to avoid that. You know, they want the grand finals winner side, that pole position, to have that whole set of breathing room of a plan to fall back on if something goes awry in that first set. Because in the loser side of things, you do not have that privilege.
We've seen how much of a privilege it really is, right? Being in that winner's seat. We've seen it happen on the East Coast. Technically, if it had been the other way around, right? I probably shouldn't spoil it for you guys, but let me just say, for the most part, I might have talked about it in the chat. Just let you know, this is live in full effect. Being in that position is one of the biggest advantages you can get. Right, because you have that leeway, you have that extra 3-game leeway that you need to utilize as soon as your opponent tries to download you. Right, then you start to implement some of the corrupt download. Right, you give them the virus instead. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna stop you right here, man. You got the wrong information, pal. I'm not that program. But I'll tell you what, right now, these guys are loading in right now. It's gonna be ChrisCCH going up against Endemic's own Shine, and this is one to behold because again, whoever falls down here has to face off against CuhzLightYear.
And CuhzLightYear, he's been the hottest player we've had in the bracket, taking down Brian F, running through the losers bracket. He is definitely, he has all the momentum on his side right now. So you're definitely going to want to avoid that. You're going to want that momentum boost, that morale boost from getting this winners finals W as well. So this is going to be a big match to determine how this top 3 plays out.
Big match, as they say, over on the other side of the pond. I'm sure Rob TV still got the big things in it in his vernacular. He still has that whole.
Rob was the reason I talked like a British fella in Poland. It wasn't even because of the British fellas. It was because of Rob.
It wasn't actually. It was just because of Rob.
Like, bro, he couldn't stop saying UK slang. I was like, what's happening?
He's about to turn into Skepta in a minute, dude.
And Shine right back in the game with just that 1 EX Zong, and then we talked about it. The crouch light kick activate. One more combo that's going to be stunning death. You better be careful.
And I love the check from ChrisCCH in a dire situation where he would have got schmixed for a stun. He knew exactly what to do. Shine, I got to admit, he was a little overzealous sneaking in that dash. It led to this exact moment here. He has to play neutral again against a fully loaded ChrisCCH with trigger no longer the factor.
And the jump over Chris, setting up shot with a couple of projectiles. Knew he got shine thinking about it and read him like a book.
He read about it in a book. Sometimes they only eat sandblasters.
Oh, I thought he was going to challenge with an EXDP after that Zong, but still just respecting the plus frames. Confirms just off normal hit. Button's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely Street Fighter 6 material.
Oh.
Look, man, let me tell you about that V-Skill 2, ladies and gentlemen. If there is a gap that is not close enough to get into that fireball, best believe that sway is going to go past it. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter if you're an MMA specialist. This guy is going in for the damage. ChrisCCH striking first blood. This is 3 out of 5, though.
You know how the meme goes, Sway, you don't got the answers. Not at the end of the day. You could get a little fireball. You can get past the projectile here and there. But at the end of the day, it's going to take more than that to take down ChrisCCH.
He ain't been doing the education. He's been doing this longer than you. That's
have you seen they put the Cry Together beat over that argument between Kanye and Sway?
Oh, so somebody has talked about it on social media. I got to check that out, though.
People are menaces.
That's pretty high. I want to know when he's going to talk about the Polaroid thing with Lady Gaga. I love the Lady Gaga songs. What does she know about cameras, though? Well, that line is still going to... It lives rent-free in my head, man. Speaking of rent-free, ChrisCCH already pushing Shine into the corner. You're stuck here, amigo.
Most definitely. You see the crouch medium kick. He just already committed to a fireball afterwards. But he knows he's got Shine thinking so much about all those options right there. Just sneaks in a dash throw, and Shine not going to let that happen again.
Definitely not. Yeah, this is definitely a cat that knows exactly what to do on defense and take full advantage while on offense. You see that setup right there. He did a crouching jab and reacted with a walk back to see what ChrisCCH had in mind, to see if he was trying to get into some EX Dragon Punch territory.
Well, this time we'll convert the knife. A little bit of V-trigger left now. Next stab is going to get rid of it. Use the EX Zong to set up shop with the throw. The crouch medium kick catches Chris being active on the wake up.
That brought me all the way back to my island. I hit him with the Filipino like that. My ancestors felt that one. My God.
Ankles, not quite vibranium yet.
And about to hit him with a wipe yourself off. You're bleeding. Look at how much damage that was.
Yeah. Well, good job from Chris this time, not trying to walk back, didn't fall into that trap.
Talked about that spacing with the fireball, right? When it comes to the fireball war, you gotta understand like when to let that sandblaster rock so you're not susceptible to the jump in. But speaking of being susceptible, I was about to say ChrisCCH mastercraft when it comes to baiting out button presses from the opponent. That V-Skill 2, that was locked in as soon as he brought him to the corner, yo.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. You could tell he was scheming on that, like setting it up. Yeah. I don't blame him for committing to that. That definitely looked like it was going to be a successful whip punish.
I mean, sometimes you might see one thing, but it leads to another. It is what it is.
True. The realm that which we play in. And right now, man, see so many potent options for Luke. That +1, all setting up some tick throws.
This is so pivotal. Look at the damage and the carry.
Off of a crouch light Kickstarter into V-trigger, that has ridiculous damage.
Oh yeah, and look at that corner to corner essentially, right? Had he gotten the next sequence?
Yeah.
That's super important. Is he gonna throw it and hit him with the House of the Dead? Reload. No, he's gonna keep it. That's first edition, bro.
Tossed it afterwards. Now Chris.
Yeah. He didn't get a PSA 10, he just tossed it in the garbage.
Yeah. He's like,
it's actually around Luke's neck right now.
This delayed button right there catches Chris out of the air. Still anybody's game, honestly. Oh my God.
Oh lordy. Checking with the
Do
lows.
not reach, fam.
Oh my God. Hold your breath. That's it. ChrisCCH on with 2 games in a row against Endemic Shine. Listen, that activation was critical. And we talk about that because that time freeze was enough for Shine to kind of like over-assess the situation. It's like, damn, there's so many hits that he can get me with. If he checks my movement again, I'm stuck. You saw that low medium kick, right? We were talking about like the movement options and being checked on defense like that. If you get checked the first time, best believe you're not trying to move out of the way anytime soon, right? You just committed to the lease. There's no way you're getting out. That landlord's got you locked in.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially with the way interest rates are going, you're not going to be looking to buy a house right now anyway. You're staying locked in, even if he raises the rent. And that's what it's going to happen when ChrisCCH is the landlord, right? He's a bit of a scumbag in that way. He's going to make sure you pay fully because he's getting his rocks off and he doesn't care what happens to you.
That's just how it is. He's about to send you to the dirt. Actually, you're already in the grid. You might be living in a van down by the river. Shout outs to Chris Farley, always the greatest. I'll tell you what, though. Speaking of the greatest, 2-0 so far for one of the best characters in the game. Luke being piloted by one of the best players in the country, right? If not the world, I would say. ChrisCCH doing a fantastic job against Shine. It still could be either man's game considering the caliber of play we've seen from Shine and that Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. Shine could definitely get hot in an instant, run the 3 games straight back. We know that Cody can give Luke some problems this time. Big crush counter getting set up and we already have the corner. Oh, my man, sending them bird watching right there.
Already?
Oh, yeah.
Watch out for that throw. That was so meaty. That was actually the meatiest low medium kick I've ever seen in my life from Cody.
I don't know how that V-skill ended up working out, but it worked out only for a little while. Shine right after that crouch medium kick. Pressing buttons. You do not have a plus frame crouch medium kick like me.
Oh, we talk about that presence with that medium kick. We've talked about that all over the world, really. It's such a great tool. Actually, it could be for both. One thing about it, though, I think Cody just gets a little bit more mileage off of his.
Yeah, definitely seeming that way, at least right now. What, another potent button, that stay medium kick from ChrisCCH, going to start the party up. But still, to the sway is the answer this time.
We talked about inflation rates, man. Tree Fitty ain't going to be the price anymore. He's asking for more. He's out for blood.
Prices rising everywhere. This way again, but ChrisCCH staying persistent, staying aggressive. A little bit too aggressive this time. Level 1 on the Zong. We right back at it. Players so nice heavy, so committal.
Committal is definitely the right way to put it because, again, if ChrisCCH had it blocked, my God!
Bro,
oh my God!
You're kidding me, son. Like, where is the respect? We don't care. None of it doesn't matter anymore.
He tried so hard and he got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. ChrisCCH sending his ass to Lincoln Park. He kicked him out of the vicinity.
Man, are we gonna get an encore? I sure hope not. It's gonna make me numb.
It depends. Do you want more? Oh boy. Hook and brawl with the Metro City boss. I'll tell you right now, Shine is looking pretty clean right now. A lot shinier than the top of my head. I'll tell you what, ChrisCCH, excellent time to V-reversal out of that situation.
Oh my, he's got that V-trigger on deck. He's about to take out that knife, sign that mother effer up real nice.
And turn that sideways.
And Shine, he's gonna look to stick it up there, but no, cut off first.
Ooh, this is probably, yeah, this could lead to a death situation, by the way. Any hit from ChrisCCH that leads to a cancel can lead to a critical art.
Try to throw the knife, but it just gets shut down again. Oh my goodness. Chris, yeah, he can definitely bully with the sandblasters for a little while. Shine doesn't have any meter, but he just tries to walk up on him. And no, this is the mayor's block right here.
You're trying to slang that stuff on my block? Listen, man. Listen. I don't think you understand. I am the streets. I am the Street Fighter. I feel like, isn't he the one that broke down like the wall in Street Fighter 1 during like one of the screens that show up, like the demo screens or whatever? He wasn't like in the game per se,
but they recognized him from jump.
Yes.
Like you said, one of the most powerful beings in the Street Fighter realm.
Correct.
Oh my goodness, very, very disciplined play from both sides, trying to find their big medium buttons. Oh, and there it is for ChrisCCH.
Oh my God. I think like a sequence and a half, you're gonna get that stun. You know what? Call me a liar. Fire me right now. That was a lie.
Oh man, is seeing stars.
Dude, okay, that is the sequence that everybody talks about. It's like, damn, that was a lot of stun. It came from a roundhouse.
Yeah.
That I could hear Phenom in my head. Damn, that was a lot of stun. It's just like I could hear it, bro.
That Phenom impression, very on point.
I love that guy, man. Phenom's the GOAT. He really is, man.
Oh yeah, punish clean that time from ChrisCCH, but not so clean. And then the shot, you saw it try to walk up in his grill, get him pressing buttons, but Chris a little bit more disciplined than that, and we got a clean whip punish. Oh, taking him all the way to the corner. Show him who runs the block.
No bad spray! Put it in your pocket. This is an MMA match. I want a good, clean fight.
My man, oh my God. Oh, Judge Mills lane, Ref Mills lane.
Yeah, that's true. He was a judge.
You're gonna say who passes judgment on
both characters. That's actually bars. It actually plays out great for both characters. Oh man. Ooh, ooh.
Plus frames. Oh, that's more plus frames though. That's a little bit of a gap with that Zong and the crouch medium kick, but didn't leave one afterwards with that light kick. Very well done.
Whoa. Man, he swings for the fences. That animation is raw. Check it again. Shine is doing a fantastic job of taking back all the momentum that ChrisCCH had from games 1 and 2, right? This is a classic, like, OG comeback.
This man is adjusting right now for sure. He definitely has gotten a good read on the way ChrisCCH likes to play. But now we're in the corner and again calling him out. Knows when he's gonna get over aggressive and making him pay for it. Just outside shank range. Oh, cut him off, charging up the flash knuckle, put that away, and face out the DP. We're going to a game 5.
Damn, that's how you feel? He actually let him stay. He was like, you know, this is my territory. I'm letting you stay, by the way. This is my block. We have to reiterate that. Shine looking like he never even fell 2-0 prior. He is looking mad clean. It is the point of the shape up, right? You have to look as clean as possible before you match. That's the whole point.
That's why he picks the knife V trigger. People think it's because it's cheap. It's just that's what he's shaping himself up with right before he picks Cody. It's all good. But I really like just the way he's brought it back. And in general, man, as you said, Cody is the streets. Has there been anybody that has gone from being a felon, being in prison, to being the mayor? You know all levels of the town if that's the case. I don't think anybody's done that.
I will put an asterisk on there. There's a little bit of nepotism, right? First of all, he cleaned up the streets of Metro City with the mayor, right? He already built that relation, dated his daughter, right? And it also upheld the school of Bushi and Ryu style.
Okay.
All right, he's already got great accolades. I don't know why he went to jail, right?
Yeah,
true. He'd been throwing like tornadoes everywhere. I don't know what kind of criminal activity he's been a part of, but I'll tell you what, there might have been some nepotism at play. This man is the mayor for, you know, for a slight reason.
Maybe some questionable reasons. Here in North America, our politics a little suspect from time to time. But right now we see a big change from ChrisCCH, right? Obviously bringing out the Seth, very experienced on the character for sure, and he's looking for answers right now because Shine, as you mentioned, he was really adjusting to Chris's game plan in those last 2 games. Oh, the V trigger now. Can you adjust to this?
Oh, he definitely can. Most definitely. He's willing to spend that V trigger with a V gauge off of the V reversal. Oh boy.
Punched in the mouth, level 2 version as well. Puts him on life support here. Great sequence right there. Gonna put any and all button presses to shame.
No!
Oh, wait a minute. Back throw incident. Oh, okay.
He studied the tapes.
He did.
He studied the tapes. Oh. He got the blueprint and he's going out for robbery now. He's got the whole thing in the bank, baby. He's already got the explosives. He's got the Zonk knuckle. He's punching through the wall. My man's just going away scot-free, looking at match point against ChrisCCH.
Manganus took the top off as well. Let the guns breathe. In the corner, tried for the hard read. Thought he was going to go with a tick throw and try to backdash. Got punished for it heavily. Jumps out, though. Right back to the corner you go. No probation. Staying locked up. And right now, ChrisCCH playing Warden.
Oh, damn. Damn. I'm thinking about, like, the longest yard. No, not the longest yard. We'll talk about that later.
He picked the pipe for this matchup? I didn't even notice.
Word? He's actually looking to incriminate himself. He's putting he's putting his fingerprints all over the evidence with that pipe.
Yeah, that's bludgeoning damage. There's way more evidence left than a knife.
What kind of dice do you roll for bludgeoning damage?
The pipe, we're gonna create a new one for that. That's the D14 right there. Like,
jeez.
Oh.
And look at that, just swing it away, right? ChrisCCH is just trying to occupy that space with crouching medium punch. He's looking for a buffer, but is more importantly looking for Shine to like back away from the normal, right? That's the biggest signifier. He's like, I don't care if you run into the normal or not, I want positioning. But Shine didn't give him an inch.
Is that stun? Oh my goodness, it is! Sending him bird watching on the way to an OCV. Oh my goodness, a reverse OCV, I should say. Shine taking it 3-2. It's not an OCV, but you know what I mean. 3-0, reverse, whatever.
Yeah. No, that counts. That
you
absolutely counts.
Yeah.
Reverse OCV. That's exactly what happened. Shine looking as shiny as ever, man. I'll tell you what, keep that head of hair. You got it going. 3-2 against ChrisCCH. That is no easy task. And you know what's funny? Arturo is definitely popping off in the chat. He's like, yo, let's go East Coast. Like, we got this. But at the same time, he's like, yo, but ChrisCCH is nice. Like, he gives the asterisk, and I'm like, respect. Respect,
Yeah.
Art. Respect.
I definitely love Arturo because he has a lot of East Coast pride, but he gives the other regions props, and that's how I want to be. That's how I think most people should be. You feel me?
Man.
Is like have pride in your region, but respect to the other coast as well. And right now, Shine earning a lot of respect here, taking his skills that he crafted, that he honed in the East Coast, and showing the West what he's about. He will be in grand finals.
Yeah, he talked that talk, respectfully. Like, he knows, he understands what's good, right? And for very good reason, right? He's got some of the, he's one of the pillars of the community. And speaking of, we do have one of those cats, right? Shine has been an OG for a while now. Let's take a look at the replay and how it all went down. Shine is definitely that cat that has been, he's on a broken tier t-shirt, right? He's talking about like, adapt.
Yeah.
You know he's gonna do it. We don't need buffs. We don't need nerfs. He's looking to adapt, right? If y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all gotta hit some ones in the chat. Hit some buttons for sure, because man, that is a classic. He knows how to adapt.
Most definitely, and we saw it fully on display here. And that's why we talk about that 3 out of 5 promised land in Street Fighter V, right? My man ChrisCCH was able to take those 2 games fiercely to open up the set, but the adjustments, the intel that my man Shine ended up gaining from that, he just really caught on to the rhythms, the decision-making process of ChrisCCH so well, in fact, that even when Chris switched to a different character, tried to get a different game plan going, Shine still knew how to shut it down.
And you talk about that shutdown, right? Initially, like, Chris was the one looking prominent for the shutdown and moving on into grand finals, but that's not even the case, man. 2-0 immediately finessed away from him with the Tree Fitty PC edition going in on ChrisCCH, right? I thought it was going to be the end of Rush Hour 2 where he kicks him out the window. I thought Luke was going to say, like, damn, he ain't going to be in Street Fighter 6, but that's not the case, man. Tree Fitty, big Shine, taking it big over ChrisCCH.
Yeah, now Chris is going to have to earn his way back to grand finals, or perhaps wait for Street Fighter 6 to get his run back, because he's got to deal with CuhzLightYear next. But as you can see, it was down to the nitty gritty, honestly, right? Even in these games that Shine ended up bringing back, still very close to being the set for ChrisCCH, but he tried to walk up on him a couple of times, honestly, and Shine was ready with the reactions.
Yeah, it's absolutely pivotal, man. We talk about the reactions. There's just one, that's just one of the aspects going into it, right? You also have the solid reads. ChrisCCH, he had the library open and available for him to check out any book he wanted, but he's just spent a little bit too much time lingering, right? He made a little bit too much noise. The librarian kicked him out. And I gotta say, man, ChrisCCH, as many reads as he could make, there's just too many books in the library for you, brother.
Most definitely, man. He's not the one incriminated. He doesn't have time to just sit around and read, right? He's out here being the protagonist of different games, trying to put the West Coast on his back, and unfortunately, he just didn't have a strong enough one today.
He ratted him out and called the warden with Seth. Actually, that was pretty funny when you called that earlier. That was pretty good.
He tried.
He tried.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. And he tried to escape too, but he said, I got you for 3+ frames, whether you block or get on hit.
Yo, what do you feel about that switch, though, by the way, from ChrisCCH? I know it went down to the wire, you know, last round, last round, with a ton of meter on the side of ChrisCCH. I feel like as good as that set was, oh my God, as good as that set was, I still think, like, I think Luke would have been it still, no?
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that, because as we highlighted, during those games that Shine won that beat the Luke, it was still very close. It wasn't like he outright figured him out and then it was just a wash and he needed to go to a different character because it was looking hopeless. He ended up busting out the Seth. I think he was like, one game, I'll play my Seth, it'll probably be too weird, too unorthodox for him to catch on to. But nah, he's just too solid on the Cody. And I think Cody's kit as a character is very good at not getting overwhelmed. Like, he has a lot of stop signs via the Zong, via the stand medium kick. He has whirlwind. He has solid anti-airs that aren't heavy commitments. Because of stuff like that, it's just hard to crack him.
On top of like V-skill too, one of the better V-skills of blow up sequences that aren't true frame traps, right? Low forward into fireball has been the biggest signifier of that of the utilization of that V-skill, right? A lot of big words, man. I'll tell you what, it's getting late. But no, V-skill 2 is so good. It's such a good V-skill. We got to do like, somebody's got to do a tier list of like V-skill 1s and V-skill 2s. Justin, where you at? I need to know personally where his ranking is of V-skill 1s and V-skill 2s. But speaking of like going into the match, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the bracket first and foremost, right?
Oh, well, we are going into the match.
It's going to be ChrisCCH versus CuhzLightYear. ChrisCCH got sent down to the big boys toy box. Has to face off against over the streets is CuhzLightYear.
Indeed.
It's the Lightyear that didn't make it to space camp.
Man, it was too gangster for space camp.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me?
He went from NASA to NASA.
Yeah, like, I don't need a helmet. They're like, bro, you can't breathe up there. He's like, watch me.
Man, just because there ain't no oxygen for me up there, that means there's no oxygen for you up there either. It's just logic. It's logic, man.
Oh my goodness, actually sweeping the forward roundhouse. No, sir.
Man, the schmixes does not apply to ChrisCCH.
Oh no, yeah, we talked about those plus frames after that back medium punch. Got caught trying to walk out of range right there. Chris, though, my goodness, he's feeling real froggy on the Oki, just trying to show him some shimmies.
Yeah, he was churning butter, churning butter as if he were Zangief. Damn, you were not clear for takeoff. You didn't go through the steps. You didn't even ask Mothership if it was time to take off yet.
No. You see how many pilots are on strike right now? That flight got canceled, fam.
No reimbursement here. This ain't Delta.
Oh no. Didn't you even get the flight credit?
Nope, not even one.
Oh, trying to swing again for the fences. The haymakers are coming out hot and heavy for CuhzLightYear.
The set Ejectocito, cuz.
Oh my god, where's Ejectocito from?
Oh,
I used to say that all the time.
Fast and Furious 2 is the same one as Tyrese, dude.
Oh my god, it was Tyrese.
That was so good. That's so good.
Cursed,
oh my
bro.
Lord. It's so good. Oh, we hungry. We actually hungry. Look at the damage coming in. Oh, he didn't want to spend it. Oh,
my
no.
goodness.
Trying to order the tuna sandwich, but with the crust.
Oh no, you gotta take it off.
Like this.
You know how Tyrese gets down?
Come on, bro. Oh boy. Oh, you're dead. You're not. Okay, you're dead.
He is down the kunai, just below the crotch.
Listen, man. That ain't time. That's self-defense.
Yeah, I was right in the ACL, bro. He's out for the season.
I like that, man. In pursuit of happiness is what it is. He's trying to make that money. That is the money-making normal, by the way. Medium punch?
Yeah, so good. Ooh, you can see the other side just to throw him. Showing some visual trickery, though. ChrisCCH having none of it.
Visual trickery is so important as a rookie. I gotta tell you what, man. Those normals can be really deceptive. And just her ranges of her movement. Look at this. What are you supposed to do about that jumping? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Good blocks from Chris. Finally ends up taking a throw, though.
Oh, you could have thrown that. I think that was a possibility.
Yeah.
What about the second bomb? What about the other bomb?
He's doing a good job.
Oh, no.
I was going to say he's doing a good job not committing to the bomb, knowing that the V reversal is there, but my goodness, Chris, well aware, as soon as he got the CA, chips him out. Well done. That is a professional right there. And I got to say, just real quick before I forget, that Tyrese in that movie saying we hungry and eating is the closest that I've ever seen to a real life person look like an anime character when eating. Like he looks so happy to be eating that food. It looks so good in that movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's me and some hot chicken, that's for sure. Or me and some ice cream, that's for damn sure. But I'll tell you what right now, man. I can't tell you how many times I'm going to reference Rush Hour in this entire set or this entire bracket, really. But the way that ChrisCCH played, no fear of the bomb, he definitely told him, push the button. Push the damn button. Like, he knew.
Yeah,
he knew what it would have led to.
Was not scared whatsoever. Handed him the detonator.
Oh boy, look at the spacing. This is a trap.
Lots of respect. Oh.
It's so scary. It's so scary.
Oh, ChrisCCH though, making the most out of it and catches them reaching with the overhead.
God.
I'm airborne, fam.
I can't believe it. That man played mad patient, by the way.
So patient.
That's the kind of Nucci from the streets. Call him Nucci Man. I'm telling you what, man. He's got it down pat. Shout out to Nucci Man in the chat, by the way. I see you. Oof.
Oh, that roundhouse going so far after the tech throw, actually shutting down the sandblaster. A very good option.
I like the back throw. What an excellent decision. You do get the advantage here. That activation plus frames counter hit. The CCH in his name is actually Chris counter hit. I'm telling you, man. I've said that day one. What does CCH stand for? It's called Chris counter hit, bro. That's his entire name. That's his government.
My man is a counter puncher if I've ever seen one. Setting up shop right there. Brought himself back into this. I thought CuhzLightYear was going to run away with game 2.
He's got to turn from Data Eiji into a Sendo, man. He's got to beat from counter punching the one being the aggressor, to be honest.
Yeah,
show the power of your will.
Not giving that opportunity, right? He's been so good at the spacing of his normals, but right now, all that spacing goes out the window when Chris has you in the corner. Slight execution there on that throw setup, and now we're gonna start the party.
Oh, the bomb! Call it in! Oh, no! Stun? Oh, it's all scaling. He's gonna push him to the corner and reload.
What are we gonna do? What's the mix here? Oh my goodness, keeping it compact. Thought Chris would press buttons. Oh, he gets the screen freeze. The juggle into the CA. No. Such a smart route for Chris to go into right there. Mad damage, enough to kill even. 2-0 off that.
My man's had so much time to put him in whatever volume mixtape he wanted from the N1 anthology. He put it off the backboard, and he made his own spectacle out of it. He broke the backboard harder than Shaq did when he was with Orlando.
Mm-hmm. No chocolate thunder necessary. All ChrisCCH right now.
God, man, that's a lot of damage.
I mean, main event was the one that was breaking backboards in N1, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, there's a plethora of them, man. I know Rob TV was going off on a bunch of them, and that was actually kind of dope. I love that. Up next, End Shine versus Nani. Who could it possibly be, right? It could be a huge comeback run for CuhzLightYear. Although he's at the deficit of 2-0, we've seen this story before from the winner's side, right? ChrisCCH fell short to Endemic Shine.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting maybe a different room, different something. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, as you mentioned, ChuzLightYear, he's got to have 3 games to come back. And we did just see that with Shine, right? He did just complete the 3-game comeback in winners finals. But it's going to be asking a lot. This is going to be ChrisCCH in the zone. He had already just played 5 matches of a very high level Street Fighter. He's going to be warmed up. You know, he doesn't want some nonsense to go.
I knew it. I knew somebody had been a little antsy, and I get like that myself, right? When it comes to watching high-level Street Fighter 5, I want to play. I definitely want to play. You know what I mean? Like, it just gets you so amped. That's why, like, watching a lot of footage of like fighting games in general makes me want to play it, right? I've actually thought about getting back to like Guilty Gear because I've seen Biken, and man, she looks mad good this season. And then I see DNF Duel. I see a lot of folks putting in work over at TNS, right? We see the can opener, we see WNF, and I'm just like, listen, Rich, I have my reasons, okay? Gobo is sick, okay? Gobo's sick.
Bro, I'm telling you, if you're like Biking, that is the correct choice. That's why I'm shaking my head, because I'm like, you hit the nail on the coffin, or the nail on the head. 100%.
Yeah, I follow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always following, man. I be lurking in the streets. Look at that. He's gyrating. He's vibrating. Best believe it's a spectacle. But no, I mean, like, all jokes aside, though, I mean, like, real talk, again, CLG coming in full effect with the FGC. These guys are putting in the work and actually putting in a damn good job with production, to be honest with you. These guys have been putting in for how many hours now? They've been covering the East Coast and now immediately into West Coast. Like, they didn't even get a break. They didn't even get a dinner break, y'all. I'll tell you what. Big ups to everybody in production throwing it down here on our Thursdays for Run It Thursdays with CLG.
Yeah, to give you all a little peek behind the curtain here, right? Obviously, East Coast started at 5 p.m. Eastern time. That was about what? That was about 6 hours ago, something like that, right? So 6.5 hours ago. And they were prepping the stream before that even. at least an hour, if not more time for that. So they're going on about 7-8 hours of work right now. So definitely show some love, if not more, actually, hours of work. So show some love to CLG holding it down. They've been super on point, even when we throw it to replays mad quick, even when we're stumbling on our words or anything like that, they have our back. So definitely big ups to them. And as we said, man, this is going to be a weekend series, week out series. Street Fighter 5 this week for East Coast and West Coast, Strive the week next. And of course, we're going back to Street Fighter every other week. So we're determining who gets to the grand finals right now. CuhzLightYear got 3 games to go. Chris only 1. We'll see who gets the shot.
Oh, already off to a great start. I love seeing that conversion right off of the crouching medium kick into the light kick. CuhzLightYear had a great start, but I'll tell you what, ChrisCCH immediately here to dampen that mood.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to rain on that parade. Knows CuhzLightYear is trying to summon all of 55th at his back to get this momentum that he needs, but I don't know, bro. Chris has been running the block pretty effectively. Oh, tries to catch him reaching, but nothing there. Oh, a little bit late on that anti-air attempt, and now you're in the mix. Great block on the bomb, and once again, Chris shutting that down.
And that's a little tricky too. I'll talk about that later. Yeah, ChrisCCH looking to scoop it up with that throw. One of the biggest objectives there from CuhzLightYear, like, wasn't necessarily the mix-up. Sure, the timing was there, and he's gone for that option, I think, every single time. But the key objective there was getting out of the corner and forcing plus frames enough to get another sequence going, I think.
Now, Chris, oh my goodness, the corner. Oh, no.
What?
No, comes crashing down. Talked about the corner too much. Not a common fan, apparently.
Yeah, there's that combo.
Fan of the damage, though.
Man, the flash knuckles. Okay, does get contested a little bit
smart.
afterwards. Checking the movement. Word. And the reload. Oh boy, don't press the button.
Did it anyway.
Yeah, just like in between the string, ChrisCCH likes to throw in flash knuckle to flash knuckle like that, so that would have been a pretty solid frame trap against ChusLightYear. Oh boy.
Directly into the crew card, the jutsus. Oh yeah. Well done for ChusLightYear.
No, also I was gonna say I'm really liking this shift over for ChusLightYear, right? This is the round he needs to stay alive. If he could come back from this, it could be a huge confidence booster for Cuz.
Yeah, remember, he definitely played really well up against Samurai's Luke. He might just be taking some time to get the a read on ChrisCCH is waking up with the buttons again. Oh my goodness, he tried for the V skill, but it got shut down.
Ooh. Again, as it's
Covered in time not to get clipped.
One round at a time, but ChrisCCH is trying to get rid of all the momentum. He's trying to snuff out that flame that's coming in. The will of the ninja. Oh boy, awesome anime stuff, I'll tell you what.
Oh, stayed in front this time. Puts him on life support here, but he's still alive for now. No meter either. Oh, he risked the slide, but was perfectly spaced and jumped out of the flash knuckle. ChusLightYear stays alive.
He thought he saw Ibuki, but it was the Kagebushin no Jutsu. That was the clone you were swinging at, brother. That wasn't the right one.
No,
You took the wrong advice.
Did the flash knuckle and he just hit a log of wood? Like, what? Nani?
Nani could it? He got the Rocky 4 advice, right? He's like, I've seen 3 of them out there. Hit the one in the middle. That's not how it works with the ninjas, man. It's just not how it works.
Now back to it though, Chris. He's already had something like this happen to him in the last set, right? You know that might be lingering in the back of his mind, but the anti-air is looking more on point than they were previously.
Man, the rebuttal from ChusLightYear has been so impressive, man. Most players, no matter who they're facing off against, in a 2-0 deficit, it's such a hard trial to even go up against, man.
Yeah, he's showing how ready he is for this high-level competition. We talked about how Samurai was going to be such a big obstacle to overcame that. Showing that he's not going to go quietly into the night up against Chris either is another major benefit to his name, but Chris has found himself back on set point.
Off of an unpunished sweep, which is heavily punishable. You're looking at double digits, and ChusLightYear was actually well within range to get a big punish.
Oh, another punish left on the table.
What is happening, yo?
Because they might, the mental stamina might be running out.
Oh boy, you gotta visualize the attack, man. You
Yeah,
gotta give him that. You gotta give him that glacier water, man. Pull out that Bobby Boucher. Oh no, that's not enough, man.
That was ridiculous, ChrisCCH. Oh. Duffed her through the mask right there.
Sheesh, that's a lot of damage. Captain Insano shows no mercy indeed. That is a perfect ChrisCCH 3-1 in that fashion. That's a big ouch, man. That actually killed. I can't believe that killed, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a lot of damage. I wasn't sure, honestly. Ibuki, not the healthiest character in the game, but I thought she had enough to survive that. ChrisCCH knew better, well calculated, spinning the full critical art, and now he gets his run back.
Zipped up the body bag and quick faction too, man. I gotta say, ChrisCCH extremely hungry for that run back. Let's take a look at how it all transpired with the replay, by the way. I know we're already kind of antsy to see the finale of it all, but we got to check it out how it all went down, right? CuhzLightYear was definitely getting some wind from underneath his wings in between the set. We were slowly starting to see that climb up, and man, the patience exuding from ChrisCCH is a whole different spectacle to behold.
Most definitely. ChrisCCH, again, I think that was lingering at the back of his mind a little bit, that comeback that happened before, and he just really cleaned up his game in that final match to make sure that he didn't take any unnecessary risks. He didn't put himself in these situations where he was going to have to overextend to make something happen. He just played it nice and solid. But I do want to give props to CuhzLightYear because, like we said, he didn't go out 3-0. He made some adjustments. And to take a game off of the caliber of player of ChrisCCH after they have that much momentum, after going up 2-0 like that, is just a testament to the level of player that they are now. And I hope to see them more and more going forward.
It's actually kind of nuts, man. Seeing his improvement every single time on stream, it's definitely on an exponential level. There's just been so many times where CuhzLightYear has taken down name after name after name, whether it be on CFN, whether it be on a platform like this with CLG. It's been consistent, man. That's been a steady climb, and that's actually a really solid way to pretty much bring a finale to your season, man. I mean, there's obviously it's only halfway through the year. We still got Evo around the corner, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta say, ChuzLightYear is on a trajectory towards success if he keeps up the way he's playing right now.
Most definitely, because that game that he took off Chris too, and all the games, like the rounds he won, none of them were real like big robbery rounds. Like sure, he had like a couple of great mix-ups like that, but like he really, I think, made smart adjustments, played a very solid ground game, had great reactions like that. It was overall, none of it was a fluke. It was all just solid fighting game play. So definitely big ups to ChuzLightYear. But of course, ChrisCCH, that's what you talked about as well. Didn't really get to punish the sweep because of that. And that's another punish that was left on the table. Just felt like that's another thing that we could bring up actually with the ladder format. There's a lot of games that get played in this tournament, so you really have to make sure you manage your mental stamina. And if you know that you're gonna kind of wear down towards the end of the tournament, you got to balance those ladder matches to make sure that you play just enough to get into top 8.
Oh, without a doubt. You talk about the mental fortitude when playing round robin. There's actually even more that goes into it, right? It's definitely not a fluke. In fact, he took an F out of it, paid respect, and had to face off against 3 Lukes in losers, by the way. You could spin it all together. That's indeed bars. Because I'll tell you what, man, that is a lot of mental discipline coming in from the young man. Actually, I don't even know how old he is. He's probably my age. I don't even know why I said young man, but he definitely playing like one, that's for sure. That is CPT caliber in the average of like age range. I think he's playing definitely most likely like the young cats in the scene right now. He is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, most definitely. And it was fun to kind of see that discussion of young cats in the community on the East Coast version of the stream, right? Because earlier we saw Just Pokey do a really good job, made top 8. And I believe Rob was alluding to the fact that they're pretty new into fighting games, right? Kind of was a Brian F stream monster, came up learning on his stream and whatnot, and obviously doing a great job making top 8 in North America East Coast at the CLG run at Thursdays. Like the man knows what he's doing, and it's fun to see new players learn, because one benefit that they do have is not bringing that fighting game baggage from older games, right? Like sometimes we kind of have habits that have been built up because certain things were effective in old games that aren't as effective now. And a lot of players that are starting now don't have those habits. So it's interesting to see the clash of like kind of forming your game optimally for the current like generation of fighting games versus like the experience and the knowledge and the way you can read your opponent's decisions from the experienced players.
It's funny you talk about experience too. We have it so readily available now. You talk about the kind of situations you need to prepare for, the resources we have in Street Fighter V as well, putting it into training mode, and just like being able to study a lot of these matches so that you get that tournament experience. You don't necessarily have to like fly out to a certain region, play this person in a first to 10 at the cost of what, maybe like $100 a match, maybe $1,500 if you're Rob TV. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that money, Playboy. But at the same time, right, you still get that experience with CFN. A lot of these resources are now available for a lot of the younger generation, and they've been using it perfectly, right, to perfection, if you will. Again, we see a young cat pretty much in the grand final with ChrisCCH going up against the one of the hard knocks, right? Shine has been put into the ring so many times, more often than not, on an international level as well.
Yeah, I'm glad that you highlighted that. Shine has definitely been in the spotlight when it comes to Street Fighter V throughout the course of the game's lifespan. He participated in a lot of the early Red Bull events, obviously in Street Fighter League, has participated in CPT every season. And yeah, also being from the East Coast, he was at a lot of the East Coast tournaments where that's where a lot of the eyes are on when it comes to North American fighting games, right? Because of how big Spooky is, and they're running a lot of tournaments on that channel on the East Coast, whether it be ECT or NEC, a lot of the East Coast tournaments that have those eyes on them. Shine has always been there, whether he's knocking down monitors and desks or knocking people out of the bracket. My man's just making sure that he lets people know he's a force to be reckoned with.
Oh man, I just got my head cut off on that one because I was laughing so hard. I was laughing so hard. Well, I'll tell you what, we got another acronym to add on to that. That's CLG coming in for the fighting game community with their weekly tournaments, right? This is just the beginning. This is the inaugural tournament for Street Fighter V. Before we get into the grand finals, I would like to sincerely thank you all for coming in hot and heavy for both coasts, both coasts, actually. You guys have been tuning in for a damn long time, and we do appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts. We're only getting started, right? We've only just begun. This is the grand finals between ChrisCCH and Endemic's own Shine. This is going to be the trials and tribulation of both players. Let's see how it turns out. Shine is actually in the winner's side of the bracket still going into the grand finals. ChrisCCH has that tough hill to try to traverse.
And you heard what my man Rob TV said on the East Coast. CLG ain't no fair weather dipping their toes in the pool types right now. This is a week in and week out with Run It Thursdays. Street Fighter V this week, Guilty Gear Strive next week, and then we rotate back and forth. And this is grand finals. ChrisCCH putting his faith, putting his chips on the set to start the set.
Ooh. I love that passive trade of Shine, by the way. It's like it's RNG at that point. It's like anytime he gets near a setup, it's bound to break.
Oh, yeah, and committing afterwards. He actually had the zonk because of the steal beforehand. Shine not taking that into consideration.
Absolutely.
The sway, but it's too active.
That's actually brilliant from ChrisCCH. But it's like, at what cost, though? If you end up letting the Hekatonkeries rock, you are pretty negative.
Oh, and the Shine, very much confident in him being able to combo off that trade, but a little bit out.
Oh, that's so tough. You managed to get the throw with the orb in your face still? Not like this. Setup City? Oh, the spine is broken. Call off work. What, do you mean like a vertebrae? No, that's spinal. That's for sure.
Spinal. Backs broken. ChrisCCH was so in control of that, and it fell apart so quickly. Oh my goodness, we are not reaching whatsoever. Shine instead. The light kick into the EX Zonk. My goodness, he's looking lethal right now.
Man, oh, that was a counter hit. I think he could have extended it with light kick.
Ooh.
I think he could have extended it with light kick.
See if ChrisCCH takes advantage of that if that comes up again. We'll see though. Shine might make some adjustments here. That's the second time he's been caught by that. Oh, to the fences. Oh, my Romo again.
What, from Mark McGuire to Babe Ruth? Man, I fumbled that one. This ain't football, it's baseball.
Oh my goodness. Right now though, ChrisCCH trying to hold on. Doesn't want to get knocked out the park again.
Yeah, he couldn't even do a sweep to get past the rocks into trigger activation because of the...
Ridiculous.
Oh my god! You're dead! Building a feeder!
Oh, with the last bit, the DV actually does to the super. Oh my goodness. That's all my eyes were locked, bro. You know the eye trackers? That's all I was looking at was the meter. And
man, you saw the smoke signal, and that's just what it is, right? When there's smoke, there's fire, man.
Yeah.
You saw that meter build up? Oh no. Now he has access to what? What move in the database did he pull? It has to be the Zonk.
Oh yeah, most def. We'll see it. We saw him already catch Shine off guard with it one time. Oh, not swinging that time though.
And you know, he baited him the first time. He did use a crouching roundhouse earlier against Shine. He didn't bite. Oh, bad spray! Pocket sand.
It's -2. It's actually not punishable.
Correct.
So I don't know if Chris was just committing because he thought it was, but no sir.
What a whiff punish. So important too. Oh, another in anticipation of the Zonk, not going for the trigger just yet. He's pushing to the corner a little bit.
Oh my goodness, we're so aggressive right now. Chris trying to attack from every angle, even wakes up with a DP.
Uh-oh, again!
Oh my, the sweet chin music.
Activation. You can't V-reversal this, he has to hold it. Other side? No, the overhead. Yikes.
Ouch.
He kicked him out of Metro City, brought him to Ouchtown, population Cody. That's actually some robbery. That.
So you can be the mayor of this town, asshole.
Yeah, he needs some milk. Those are some broken bones, man. He definitely needs some sort of vitamin D. Like it's
bring him the whole milk, no 2%, no skim,
calcium, everything, all the nutrients, brother. Oh, yeah, he's fine with that. Crush counter wasn't he wasn't really committed to it.
Show me everything. That was a little intimate. Oh, he got caught again after the hecatonchires.
He just got access to his mind, man. Come on, dude. Skipping past the chapter at Jessica. We don't want to know all that. Oh my God, he wasn't ready.
Shine, yeah. Not choosing to spin his V meter in defense that time, just holds the mix up and holds it incorrectly.
Oh, the media. It was a slight delay on that crouching medium punch. Excellent defense from Chris. And active defense with the EX uppercut.
Chris,
yes, sir. He does not need the meter for that. Reversal. He doesn't want to use it for trigger. That's fine.
Oh, the pipe! So much range on that crouch fierce because of it. Oh my goodness, that was a scary situation. And he finds the cross up somehow, some way.
He actually finally found charges against them. He's slowly taking him to court. It's a very slow judicial process, but it's still a process nonetheless. ChrisCCH, wait a minute.
Oh, the cross up again, no combo though. However, the V trigger is here and Shine just builds the V meter, and as he did, Chris threw him. That was so smart.
Boy. Oh no, he could trade. Oh, I thought he could.
Me too. Oh, the slide. Oh no, he actually got caught flinching. Yes, and level 2 EX Zong means a dead Seth. And Shine not going quietly into the night.
Not at all. He actually got a reverse conviction. If the glove don't fit, you must quit. That's actually what he got out of that. Oh boy, checking the movement yet again. ChrisCCH does have the advantage. The slight delay on the crouch medium punch. He is in stunt territory. Shine is one throw away from it.
Oh my goodness, ChrisCCH. We talked about respect being thrown out the window. And my goodness, he buried his 6 feet under with that one.
Forget the window wrench. He blasted the whole building. He doesn't even need any type of respect. He's earned it already via Capcom Cup qualification from the past year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's got it. He's got it down pat. The respect, he's already had it.
Man, wow. When you say he blew down the bell, I just pictured the Kool-Aid man doing the DP. And I'm like, could you imagine someone that thick spinning like that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the sweet chin music, cracking jaws, making them see birds.
Oh, you can anti-air that. You can anti-air that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, non-refundable, by the way. You got to hold that.
Remember, it took 2 games for Shine to catch on to ChrisCCH's Luke. Got 2 games in the book for the Seth.
I don't know, man. He might be cooking the books. Call the accountant on this one. I got to see it. I got to see it up close. Where the Excel sheets at? Oh, boy.
Show your work, fam.
Yes. Please put a square box on your answer. I gotta hit him with my announcer voice on that one. Please hit him. Please hit him with the square. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, he used trying to use that V skill, very potent tool in that neutral. But right now, Shine, the adjustments are coming in hot and heavy. He's looking good until then. Chris now waiting for the activation, wants to do it on block. You know, he needs that mix up. Oh my goodness. Some
You're
nasty
actually
stuff.
very close to stun. Back throw will do it. He knew. He's going to do it again.
Oh, it didn't do it though.
I lied to you. Oh, no, it did. It was back throw. See, look, he did it again. Look.
Oh, there you go. You're right.
Does that hedge my bets? If I say, like, generally, like, back throw will do it, that works. I just didn't say when.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you made it under the spread.
Thank you. That's a technicality. We'll take it.
Ooh, anti-air as well. Sean, despite his back being to the corner, still playing pretty comfortably.
And I gotta say, that's the normal of Dreams, by the way. That stand heavy punch is such a solid button.
Sean out of the air. Oh, lift up point blank, and Chris, you're responding to the chaos with a bust out. Ooh. Oh my goodness, dribble. Oh my goodness, that was a ridiculous cross up. A man's neck exposed fully right there.
Oh boy. Well, let him get you in the East Coast slipping with your neck exposed. That's where are we at now? That's actually what we were talking about earlier. ChrisCCH clawing his way back up onto even ground, right? This is not the ending we were looking for. This wasn't the Anakin versus Obi-Wan. There was no high ground being played here.
No. Wow. It's sad to say your techniques are mine now, Street Thug. Wow. Dismissing Cody as just as some common criminal, some common street thug when he's one of the most powerful beings in Street Fighter. I don't know, man. We'll see though. The way ChrisCCH is playing, he can pretty much disrespect and disregard anybody that he sees fit.
It's just raw power, man. When somebody could exude an entire like tornado, a slow-moving, long-lasting tornado. This wasn't an ad for any sort of battery. This was actually the description for Cody's tornado, right? Like, that's a pretty strong dude. Those are some biceps. If I ever wanted to figure out what a regulation-sized softball is, I would compare them to Cody's biceps.
Well, definitely, he's packing right there when it comes to the arms. Dude is definitely so strong to throw tornadoes. Matt Hardy ain't got nothing on him. Matt Hardy can slam some tornadoes, but he can't throw them like Cody. That's for damn sure.
He makes Steiner look like a wuss.
He's gonna need it even more than that to bring this back right now, because Chris runs away with the first set 3-0. We're all knotted up now. If you're new to how the fighting game community works in the double elimination brackets, we are back to a 0-0 set. And whoever gets the 3 games next is our champion.
Here we go right now. We're getting the full effect. All right, full screen now. ChrisCCH, again, he does have the reset. It is going to be 0-0 in this reset, by the way. And I love the fact that we are going in from the East Coast getting the reset to the West Coast getting. What is that target combo? He didn't learn that in Final Fight.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that one from. Picked it up in prison, perhaps.
100%. 100%.
Man's was locked up with some anime character that taught him some air target combos.
For damn sure. Some people say find God, but he found a target combo instead. I think that's a better trade-off.
To paying more dividends for him, at least right now. Plus frames.
Man, that take a note, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you maintain your life lead in footsies. Right there. I've highlighted the answer. There's a box right there. If I had the John Madden pen, I would highlight that. Boom, top active connected. Right there.
We'll see if my man Shine continues to be icy or if he turns up the heat a little bit.
Oh boy. I like that. We're gonna see a lot of back pain right now though, as ChrisCCH not giving him any sort of relief.
Oh, grabs him by the throat once again, trying to build up this stun bar, chasing him down with the aggression, but Shine recognizing the overzealousness of ChrisCCH. Oh, tries to put the toes on him again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the proper anti-air, right? Because it's just so active, that axe kick. Oh boy. Could he have confirmed?
I don't know.
I missed the sequence. I barely missed it. Oh no, speed of confirmation stations. Best believe he is in full control. His Steam Deck has no sticky keys on it. He is 100% in control of his own fate.
He's got all the captures on deck. He knows which one of these is a boat.
Yeah, he's got it.
Click on every one of these.
I love it. I love y'all back there. We're gonna get along just fine these next couple of weeks. Yeah. Oos. Dash up twice. What's the play? Forward throw now. 4 medium punches to play. Yep, counter hit. Watch out for the stun.
No pocket sand for you. Wow, that's the second time it's happened. The tech throw into walk-up throw. Chris ended the first set like that, and he puts himself on the board in this set with it as well.
That was definitely the fundamental Seth sequence, by the way. Everything that I've called out, that's something you have to understand as a Seth player in terms of the execution and the environment, not necessarily the environment, but the situation at hand, right? That entire sequence I was able to call out because ChrisCCH had put Shine into a very standard situation that is still tough to call out, right? Even with the building blocks, the fundamentals of Street Fighter, it still applies to even high level plays of Street Fighter.
Absolutely, and we're seeing some tremendous play right now. ChrisCCH is on a 4-match streak with the Seth, 3-0 in the first grand finals, and now already looking good in the second.
ChrisCCH again. We talked about how good he looks. We're trying to see if we can get a clean counter hit, right? That is actually the true nature of the CCH. The clean counter hit is what lets him get ahead of the pack when it comes to this momentum. Oh boy. Forward throw, excuse me. Plus frames.
Yeah, and him taking that jump into throw, that's going to make Shine feel a little bit more comfortable with continuing pressure afterwards. He might bust out with an EXDP, but instead gets the cross up again. The V-trigger shenanigans paying off.
Oh my God! So much dirt!
Don't reach,
and I'm not
fam.
talking about dirty. Oh boy, don't reach. Please, God, don't reach. Again!
I don't know. Maybe he should consider perhaps going back to the knife. Oh, but he doesn't need to consider that right now. That stay medium kick, always medium enough. Ooh, he even pointed to the fences after knocking his boots out. I like that.
I was gonna say that's some WrestleMania stuff, man. Pointing at the side? Come on, brother. Ooh. Nice check. The crouching jab really to kind of set things off. Is he gonna have enough sauce on his plate to get the finisher? Yes, he is. Why'd I even doubt it? Back-to-back perfects, I gotta say, from both. Cody actually, Shine is the one that finishes it up with the perfect. Excuse me, my mistake. Let me fix my face a little bit. Chris had that perfect from the last game. Shine paying it back in full, right? He never owes money to the Mafia.
No. My man always pays his debts. He's like a Lannister.
Yeah, he has to. He really has to.
I mean, he could be a descendant of the Lannisters for sure.
He
Cody.
could. He may have the genetics. Who knows? Oh boy.
All right, now Shine finally finding some life here in this grand final set. Oh, but we've seen that V skill shut down a lot of his whiff buttons, a lot of these fish attempts at the mid range.
You talking about the fishing attempts too, utilizing that medium kick to be well in space for that V skill. Shine was definitely looking for that sequence and managed to find his way in, even with the grab. That's actually a very risky idea to throw out there, but he still managed to get it. And speaking of grabs, now ChrisCCH does get to put him in this blender. Shine is stuck.
And Shine finally surrendering his V meter to get out of those mix-ups. But a little bit too close. That time gets punished for that roundhouse.
Back throw will do it. Any throw will do it, actually, with the amount of damage. Oh, he knew it. Shine is actually trying to back away. Final fight combo into the trigger, plus frames. You thought you could jump out of the way? Oh
no. What? Unfortunate execution error from Shine right there. Gonna give Chris that round, and that's a heartbreaker because Shine had the corner, he had V-trigger active, the world was his. Damn, double V-skill combo. Okay, got the zonk on the second time.
Oh no.
Huh?
You're seeing back-to-back flubs, man. I gotta tell you, more flubber than a Disney movie, I'll tell you what.
Shout out to my man Robin Williams.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Green Screen's a flub.
We still got
man, he just bouncing the ball. Oh my God. Let me show you how to dribble, fam.
That was legit, straight out of the N1. Hot sauce invented that one. Oh, we get up with the super. Like I said, respect has been thrown out the window, blown out the side of the building, and buried 6 feet deep. 2-1 lead for ChrisCCH.
I love that, yo. He went from hot sauce to the professor, teaching him, making sure that he teaches him not to reach when he shouldn't, right?
Holy smokes, Chris on fire here in grand finals.
Fuego. Fuego all the way in the West Coast. That's the kind of sauce you need on your tacos late night. Don't think I forgot, CLG. We're still going out for birria tacos after this, all right? I'm telling you. Get some of that hot sauce.
Birria is so good.
It's so good, man. It's so bad for you, but it's so good. It's so tremendously bad for you, but it's so amazing.
Can't stay away. Oh.
Okay, it's hard.
Swayed a little bit too early that time. Nice. That was a huge check from Shine, honestly. It was going to be close to stun. It would have been the round if he did get stunned. So the fact that he's able to stop that, get the anti-air as well, V-trigger activate, he's still in this one, man. Chris, he's not surrendering any momentum.
He went from Chris to crispy when it comes to, oh my God, the continuation of that trigger Q. It is still active. There's paranormal activity. Man saw a ghost. There's no way of stopping it.
My goodness, he's gonna have to summon some spirits. He's gonna need some type of supernatural help right now.
Yeah, or else he's gonna become one, man.
Yeah. Sean Wu's stuffed again, the stand medium kicks. Very great tool at that range. But right now, Chris, he's been countering it a lot with V-Skill 1. He's trying for it again. Oh, there it is.
Ugh, the suction. Forget Hoover, man. You got the vacuum right here. ChrisCCH now pushing further into the corner. Tree Fitty about to be broke right now. Ankles still intact. That's a throw. It's not bad. Oh, what a block.
Lost the cross up. This is the second hit the target combo, and then again, Chris, the aggression. Oh my.
Jeez.
We have 2 ships passing in the night right now. We got the plus frames. Gonna go target combo into activation. What
the backdash, he called
Chris
it.
Calling out everything.
Oh. He had the seance. He could see the spirits, and instead he sent Shine to the afterworld. I'll tell you what, ChrisCCH is your champion of the West Coast for the inaugural Street Fighter V CLG tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, ChrisCCH coming it back from loser side, actually ran it on a Thursday.
Most definitely the namesake of the tournament, man. Just made sure that we know to end it. Incredible stuff from Chris. 6-1 in grand finals, coming back from falling to Shine in the winner's side of the bracket. Well done, showing that this man, he's not carried by Luke, he's not carried by anything but his skill set. Well done, showing out for the Pacific Northwest and letting everybody know who the king of the West is.
And it still is going to be ChrisCCH for a very, very long time, I believe, man. He's had such an impressive run from his inception into the scene for Street Fighter V, at least, right? Putting himself on the map. I still remember that very first Geico tournament that he was a part of up in NorCal, right? He destroyed everybody. His mom was even watching him play. Since that moment, things were never the same, man. He has been smoking everybody on an international basis, by the way. In fact, let's take a look at that replay one more time. I got to see how it all played out, right? We got so much to go through. He's had win after win, especially coming from the losers bracket. This guy is phenomenal, and that is an understatement. That is like a lack of a better word, but he's indeed a phenomenal Street Fighter V player.
Yeah, great job recognizing, right? We saw the Seth, it didn't get the job done in that winner's side of the finals, but he only had 1 game on it. I love the confidence. I love the fact that he went back into this bracket, starting out with the Seth and just running away with it, right? Obviously, with the start he had no reason to switch during that 1 game loss. So I love the recognition, just wise beyond his years. Though I say that because of how young he is, like you mentioned, he has been at this fighting game stuff for a while now. He's a veteran of the game despite being young in age.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I mean, the way that he's been playing, it doesn't matter like what or how many years he's put in. I feel like anybody who puts time into Street Fighter V at the rate that these 2 individuals have, they're going to be spectacular Street Fighter V players. And that goes in with anything, really. Like, we talk about it. I know, like, there's certain individuals where it's just like, no matter how many hours you put into, like, CFN, there's just, like, that extra factor that you got to really have to pretty much rise up above everybody else. I feel like there are certain ways to kind of traverse that. I think there's like a lot of focus and a lot of mentality that comes into it. Like Samurai's being one of those cats too. We talk about the mental game. A lot of these folks really have to understand that hard work can go a long way, but it's like you have to work smarter and not harder. These 2 players, by the way, from their upbringings and where their environment was, and like at least, you know, competitively where their environment was, Shine had to go up against all the big fellas when it was the Street Fighter 4 era, and he did great. ChrisCCH had to do the same exact thing in Street Fighter 5, and he's doing well. It's all about being able to find the right things to study for and execute, right?
Most definitely. Both of these players have really honed their craft and honed their game plan in smart ways, right? They're not just grinding out, making sure that their execution is on point or things that just take the man hours. They're really being cerebral about how they approach Street Fighter V. They're having multiple characters in their arsenal to counter game plans that their main character isn't that great at. They're just making sure they kind of sow their wild oats across the character select screen so they know who and how the gameplay is going to be affected when it's a top player on a character that they might be unfamiliar with, right? So they've really done the work, not only like the hard work, but the smart work of it. And I love both of these players a lot. I hope we continue to see them. I know we will continue to see them in the CLG run at Thursdays because they obviously had great showings here, showing out in the ladder format. And these two are grinders as well. They're always playing Street Fighter. They're always playing fighting games. So this ladder format is completely beast for them.
Yeah, and as we all saw earlier, how it went down from the West Coast. Let's take a look at the bracket one more time, just in case you missed it. Again, it is ChrisCCH who had fallen to Shine over from the winners finals, clawed his way through CuhzLightYear, tore up the entire space station, whatever street it was on, and took down Shine in the grand finals. Right, he had to climb his way back up into Endemic's Shine in his good graces, reset the bracket, and then come through with a W, right?
Yeah, incredible run from Chris. Honestly, big thanks to all of our players, not only in the top 8, but beyond, that all participated in the ladder bracket. This wouldn't be what it is without y'all. East Coast held it down as well before this. If you didn't see that, I highly recommend checking out the VODs. A very entertaining tournament with beast sets, some of the best Street Fighter you'll see, because everybody is peaking right now. This game has been out for quite some time, and everybody has really honed their skills to be at the sharpest levels they've ever been. So I love seeing all the top players play, because I honestly think we're seeing the best versions of them than we've ever have seen before.
And before we sign out, I do want to show my appreciation to everybody that's been tuning in from the beginning, the top of the show to the very bottom of the bottom. We appreciate and love you all for the fullest, man. You guys have been coming through to every single stream. I see all of y'all names. Ringe and I lurk in a lot of streams, yo, and we see you guys really throwing down in everybody's tournaments. So again, showing love to the folks over at CLG who've been stepping out to come through for the FGC like this in this capacity. Man, it's a lot of love going through the room. And I gotta tell you right now, if you guys haven't done so already, hit that follow button right now and what you're viewing on, as well as go to Twitter, right, at CLGFGC, and follow them for the update for next time, right? We do have next week with Guilty Gear Strive. Ringe is going to be throwing down yet again. I literally just opened up the tab on Twitter. You saw my eyes not focus on the camera. That's because I literally just followed them for all the news and updates. And y'all can be doing the same as well, because again, CLG x FGC, what better collaboration could you ask for?
Absolutely. And I see that on their Twitter, they got the bio, unofficial MVC4 petition. You already know that's where I was cut. That's where the cloth I come from. So if that ever comes, you know I'll be there 100%. So I'm glad CLG has their minds right at where they're looking for the future of fighting games. Thank you, everybody that tuned in to this inaugural Rob TV, by the way, edition of Run It Thursdays. East Coast held it down. West Coast held it down. Y'all held it down. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. And we'll catch you next week.